Hi, folks, welcome back to the conversation. So, today we have Mr. Prateek. We had a very interesting conversation. We talked about different topics, and I hope you guys will find some value in it and also enjoy it. So, this is the second part with Mr. Prateek. Let the conversation begin.
You were in my dream,
Yeah.
and there was some other person I can't remember. Particularly, you were there, and we were playing basketball. So that reminded me of how much you love physical pursuits.
Yeah.
So is that like a? Have you ever thought of it being an escape mechanism
From the reality.
from the reality?
No, I do think that like what happens is that everyone thinks that the meditation is like you have to just keep quiet and this one just focus on one thing, right? But what I feel is that meditation is something where you just enjoy, right? So like you just forget about everything. And this is what this happens to me when I'm like playing football. Like more particular if if I'm doing some physical activity. So I like running. Even if I go to gym, I do like mostly cardio.
Cardio, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, so I like running and I like the process of sweating, man.
So
The
don't you
process of
think-
sweating, yeah, then what happens is that you sweat properly, right? You come back, you take a shower, and then like you do whatever you want. That's
So
the
like
thing,
sweating, working actually physically working out is like a meditation for you.
Yeah.
So don't you think meditation and the escape mechanism, there might be some connection or it might be the same because you forget about everything else and focus on only one thing.
Yeah.
So isn't meditation you think an escape
And
mechanism?
it's not like I'm not sure. Okay, that I consider as my meditation, right? But like even like after this one, right, going to taking bath and all, right, I do sit and like just simply just focus on my breath. So even that thing, like it's considered as a meditation. And then there's one like a very famous story I've heard, okay, where someone asked one like a guru a question,
Yeah.
like, what do you think when you are going to a bed? So basically, what happened, like when you are sleeping.
Okay.
So you're in a bed, and then like before you get you get to sleep. Okay, there's a like a 5-10 minutes of
Yeah, there is something.
yeah, this one, right? So and then he asked, in that time, okay, what do you think of? And he says that I don't have that time. So basically, he says that I just put in so much of hard work in a
In the day.
days that I don't have that time. I just when I just go to bed,
Yeah,
I just fall asleep like this.
It's probably Sadhguru. You told us.
No, it's not Sadhguru. It's Vivek Bindra.
Is
You
it
know,
Vivek Bindra?
Vivek Bindra. He's
Probably.
this one, Bada Business. He's like a very this one.
Motivation speaker.
Yeah, motivational
yeah,
speaker,
yeah.
business coach.
Yeah.
So
He once
that's
told,
really interesting, right?
I work so hard that I don't sleep on the bed. I'm just lying dead there. The buffer time that there is.
Yeah, like of thinking something else. Like what should I do tomorrow? Nothing, man. You just go to bed, you sleep, man, because you have done so much in today's life. So like physical activity, like all the things.
So like
And I
That-
do agree. It's
that's
fine.
like something you do for peace. And we were just talking about peace when we were coming back.
Yeah.
So you asked me what is my definition of peace.
Yeah.
So there's one thing as definition, and one thing I think like there is an ideal setup that we need as our environment. Like our environment should be like this. So I'm peaceful. So what do you think your environment should be to supposedly decide that okay, now I'm at peace?
I didn't get it. Like just in a crux.
Like maybe listen to music,
Yeah.
maybe sitting quietly.
I do think that I've seen a lot of people who listens to music, right? Even in gym, they listens to music.
Yeah.
But I have a very bad connection. Bad connection in a sense, I don't have a relation with the song, right? I don't listen to song at all. Like maybe like in a month, 1-2 songs, right?
Why not?
Like because I like listening to podcasts, man. Like people having a conversation, right? So that's why because of this one, right? I just love the
That's
concept of
amazing.
having a conversation, man. I like talking. And I'll tell you one thing, okay? When we were in high school, okay, I love so much like talking, okay, but like, not bullshit, like something interesting,
Yeah, something-
anything, like any
That-
topic, arguments and all, right? Even my warden, okay, he calls me WeChat.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
WeChat.
Understood,
You understood, right? So yeah, that's the thing, man. So then what happened is that when I came to college and then I've started talking less. Yeah.
Right?
It's my conscious decision not to talk a lot. Basically, what happened is that I think I've told you in the previous also, right? If you're like everywhere, right, then you're
You do it, no, yeah.
So that's why it's my conscious decision. And then what happened is that people who are like a very this one, right, extroverted, right? People tend not to believe them, not to believe in a sense like they don't actually, they're not considered as a very reliable person, right? They are not too much of dependent. Like, for example, even if you want to be a CEO of a particular person, right? You want them, him or her to be reliable in a sense like who doesn't talk a lot, right? So yeah, that's fine. It's my personality that I wanted to be later. So that's why I'm just doing it from right now only.
That reminds me when you said not bullshit things, is actual productive conversations. My dad told me this once. I think it's his own thing. Or is it from a book? I don't remember. He told me this because as a kid, this is like whatever I'm speaking out right now, even in class, whenever I'm sitting with people, I used to talk 1/4 of that growing up. So my dad.
So you're like a complete opposite of me. No. Because I talk a lot when I was in high school. So right now I'm just trying to reduce it. So you don't talk a lot. But right now you're not trying to do a lot, but like still
I'm trying to increase. I'm trying to improve. Like whenever I can. Talk when it is necessary. That's it. So my dad, to open me up, he told me this. See, if I give you a coin, and if you have 1 rupee coin, I have 1 rupee coin. If we exchange it, you will still have 1 rupee coin, I still have 1 rupee coin. But if I have an idea and you have an idea, and we exchange that, I have 2 ideas, you have 2 ideas.
Yeah.
So it's beneficial for the both of us. So that's why even talking is important, because after a while you won't get. Sometimes you just have to get used to talking, because you'll fall out of habit.
Yeah.
So talking is also very important.
Yeah. So basically, there's a concept, which there's one Naval Ravikant, right? Even I quoted this one in this one when we had the question session. I asked about this one networking and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same. He's like a modern philosopher. Okay. He says that if you want to, like previously, okay, you don't have a lot of smart people around you, right? So that's why what happens is that you have to read books to understand better or understand the reality or like how it works and all, right? And then actually reading, there's a friction. How speed you can read. This is a friction. This is a friction. And some people, they don't read very fast, right? And then later, this one, the cell phone and all came, right? And even there you can read a lot of summaries and all. Even there is a friction, right? But what happens with the conversation is that you get a you can learn like this one, man, like very fast, isn't it?
In conversation.
Yeah, in conversation.
See, there's cons and pros to both of them. See, in conversation, there is not one person talking, there's a group of people talking. So, when a group of people are talking, you get much more ideas. So, if you're looking for ideas, you should listen to more conversations. But if you're looking to know about that person's particular perspective on that particular thing, I think books are way better. Because the book, The Almanac of Neil Ravikant, it's in a library.
Yeah, it's in my library.
Yeah, I started reading it.
It's really good, man.
It's fantastic. So there is a chapter.
And there's one very important, interesting quote, okay, where he says that if you're the smartest in a room, okay, if you're the smartest person in a room, you are in a wrong room, man.
Okay.
If you are the smartest person in a room, okay, then you are in a wrong room, because you have to be in a room where a lot smarter people are there so that you can learn. So if you are the smartest person in a room, okay, then you don't learn anything from others. But if you are this one in a room where there are a lot of people smarter than you, then basically you are learning from them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like a very interesting quote, man.
In that, there's a chapter that I read yesterday. So I'm building a habit of reading, and since last podcast, I started reading another book.
Which one?
It's a bit out of genre for me, because I usually read like self-help books or just to expand my perspective. But this is a new book, new genre. It's called What Everybody Says. So it's about
body languages.
It's about body languages and how to actually read non-verbal communication. So it says 70 to 80% of the conversations that we have, it's absolutely non-verbal. We don't like expressions, what we say, how we say it, what part of it, like my hands are moving right now. So it says something about me. So the background behind it and how to actually read the other person's body language. So I think that's also necessary, because as human beings, and I don't know why, but as society we have grown, even though we have multiple languages, we have every verbal, non-verbal, over text, over call, we have so many means of communication. But still, we can't say everything in how it is. We can't say clearly. We'll either say it as diplomatically as possible, like me, or else we'll somewhat hesitate. What if this person thinks? So Vishruth, our class, he started a club, Ikigai Club. So in that, since we didn't have any seniors, we wanted our juniors to have the seniors, and seniors we didn't have. So it's kind of a mentor-mentee club where if you want to become a mentor, you can voluntarily come in and then sign up for being a mentor.
What mentor? Like, what do we have
To
to
students.
do?
Like
Basically, like the subject and all.
not subjects in particular. Life, anything. Like I'm a mentor of, like, supposedly mentor of 8 students from BCom FNA. So one girl is doing CMA, all of them are doing CA. So I try whatever I can to help them with CA, with BCom. But majorly, I'm good at how to deal with real life situations. So a girl had asked me in one of the meetings that I have trouble saying no. How do I actually? This was the first conversation we actually had about college life, about personal lives. Because since their first years, and they are a bit different from us, a girl had trouble saying no. And I generally, as you would, ask the others also. And everyone rose their hand. They're like, I have trouble saying no to this person because I don't feel like, I feel like I might disregard their thinking. They might think, oh, I'm too cocky, I have too much attitude, this and that. So I did a bit of research about it. And I was reading this book, Don't Shut Up by Prakhar Gupta. So in that, he wrote beautifully. Just to give the basics about it, why you should say no is, saying no is like setting yourself as a different person from the rest of the world, giving you an identity from the rest of the world. Because if you're just agreeing with everyone in the world, then you don't have an identity as a person. So saying no is important. And also, when you say no, it also teaches you about. So if you say no to me,
like I think the main problem with the saying no, I don't know about this one. Okay, that one is not like that much of effect, right? But like saying no in a friend group, okay, for example, especially towards like alcohol and all, that is the main problem.
That's it.
Because like, they can't say no, right? So that's why they go ahead and then they spoil their life.
So one thing is, like, for example, if there's 2 situations. One, we just met. We're in first year, first semester. We just met. We're not that close friends yet. Second situation is we're in third year. We're very close friends. But then you saying no to me is once in a blue moon, and that I can convince you back. So you say no to me and you're adamant to it. But right now we're close friends, and I just completely flip out, and you haven't seen me reacted like this. I took it on my ego. I'm like, you're not respecting my feelings and this and that. So at that point, you're also shocked at how I've been with him since last 2 years, and how did I not know this about him? So you would try to become less of a friend. You would try to spend less time with me if I give that reaction. But then if I give the same reaction, right now, when we are not that close friends, you can go to some other person. Like I'm not the right person to be with because of how I react. That's one way. That's one thing that this shows who to choose based on how their reaction is to your no. So there's 2 ways, broadly speaking, to say no. So first is a boring plain no. And 9 times out of 10, that's exactly how it should be. Because you saying no is merely you setting a preference and not disregarding their motivation, their emotions. That's very important because people think.
But like you have to say no in a very respectful way also.
Respectful way. So that's why. A plain boring no emotion, sometimes it's better. So if you say something, I'm like, no, that's it, that's the end. It's fine. The other way is saying in the book, according to the book, saying a charming no. So in that, what you do is, there's 3 stages. So first stage is, you understand why they are saying it. So if if I take the example on, if I'm with a group of people and you come up to me and say, "Come on, let's drink," and I don't indulge in alcohol, I condone it. But then peer pressure. 8 of my friends are saying, let's drink, it will be fun. I want to say no. But all of you guys are very close friends of mine. So that's when I say no in this sense. So firstly, I understand why do you want me to have alcohol? It's not because you want to ruin my life. It's like you want me to have fun. We all want to have fun. So the first thing is get them who you want to disagree with and yourself on the same page. So if your agenda is me having fun with everyone, and I think I think that your agenda is that. So firstly, we have to establish the fact that we are on the same page. I understand your agenda. I understand why you're saying it. Once that is established, the second is I appreciate your offer and I make you understand that I am understanding you. I hear you while you're saying it. So, like, if you offer me, let's drink alcohol. I'm like, okay, I know that you want to have fun. The next step is, okay, Tenzin, I hear you. I understand why you're saying this. You want me to have fun. Everyone wants to have fun. That's why you want me to drink alcohol. That's why you're encouraging me. But after you say the sentence, when I say the sentence, you expect a but, that there is something else because I haven't completed it. So I'll be like, but that's where third thing comes in. That's where you disagree. But I think alcohol is not for me. So that's the respectful way that you said to disagree with. Because sometimes in these situations where you think, I don't want to spoil the vibe of the whole setting. This is where you actually say no, where you don't spoil the mood. So this is a respectable way of saying no. So that's what we discussed in the last meeting, and I hope it helped them.
Yeah, I think sure. Yeah.
So,
like personally, what I think is that what I've understood is that I don't know. Okay, it's just my opinion. I think these are all waste of time for me because I'm not that I don't like doing all these kind of things like setting a club. It's interesting, right? But I feel like it's just a waste of time at the end of the day. This is what I feel. Like even previously we had this one, right? Finance club and all. It sounds cool, like we have a finance club, we'll just have some program and all, right? But in reality, it doesn't happen that way, right? You have a lot of meetings, unnecessary meetings.
Yeah, there's obviously.
So yeah, I do feel like this one majority of the time, not all the things, but yeah, are like a waste of time, and this is what I feel, and it's just my opinion, and yeah.
See, I respect your point.
Yeah.
But then it also teaches you how to deal with people. I have met a lot of types of people: egoistic, diplomatic, people who just constantly agree with me, people who constantly disagree with me.
I like those who disagree with me, honestly.
Yeah. There is you try to think why are they disagreeing? Why is there point of disagreement? But it's also depends on how you take the disagreement. If you take it on your ego, then that's bad.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you would like to learn more about? And please don't tell me finance.
Yeah, not obviously it's not finance. I would say I'm more interested right now towards in the last few days, not few days, few weeks. I really wanted to explore English literature.
Literature.
Yeah, literature plus philosophy.
The philosophy I can understand. I'm into it myself. But what got you an interest in literature?
Literature. What I do is that everyone wants to be smart, isn't it? Right?
Obviously.
No, right? Everyone wants to be smart.
Why not?
Yeah, why not, right? And then what happened is that I find that this one, Shashi Tharoor, right? Is very interesting. And then he talks about, his English, right? The so-called Queen's English or something that, fancy word.
The Victorian.
Right? Yeah. And I find that very interesting, man. If you know a lot of words, right? You can just play with words. You can, this one, have a conversation with the people, like English people, like anyone, right? And yeah, that struck me. He was very, I consider him as a very smart person, right? So yeah, I really want to be that kind of a person. And then what happens is that if you're good in English, right, and not necessarily that like if you want to do something in English, right, then you have to be first good in English, right. What happens is that you'll be like this one. If you want to do internationally, right, then obviously it's an English language, right?
Yeah,
And then is like if you want to learn English properly, it's easy to understand. It's easy to this one communicate. Like whatever, even if you're reading something, okay, if you know English, it's very easy to understand. So yeah, that's my this one main this one. I wanted to explore this one this one philosophy as well as literature.
That
I
reminds
find
me.
this interesting. And I don't mean that I want to do like a master or something over that. I just want to do like a side hustle, just like explore this kind of thing.
You remember this Monday we had this networking slash SDG
Yeah.
this thing when you asked the question. If you remember, Shaji sir,
The
the strong
sustainable.
guy,
Okay, the strong one. Yeah. In one.
he told that you have to. It's better that you go outside your domain, go to different domains, and then acquire knowledge in a lot of it.
Yeah. Like, can I give you an example? Elon Musk. He's considered as a modern polymath. You know polymath. Polymath means polymath is a person, okay, who has a diverse knowledge. Not only one subject, who has a diverse knowledge and like that too very specialized in a lot of domains. For example, Elon Musk, right? He has like engineering SpaceX, and he has Tesla also engineering, and sustainable development, that one, Neuralink, that one, the neurology, the biotechnology, and Starlink, this one, connections and all, right? And then he also has an interest of this one, astrology, astrology or like a space, time, physics, everything, right? And then what happened? Even the today we had a video of this one, the Mona Lisa, right? This one, the the artist Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Even
Da Vinci, not DiCaprio.
Okay, Leonardo Da Vinci, right? Even he's like a polymath. So he's like an ancient polymath. Right now, Elon is considered as a modern polymath, right? And what is the advantage is that if you know one space very well, right? What happens is that if you know like a diverse space, you can get some input from this this domain, and then you can put in the like help in other domains also, right? So this way, I think you just find a very interesting like this one.
That reminds me, 1 second. Yeah, you continue.
Yeah, so I think that's really interesting, man. If you have like a wide range of knowledge, right, and that too very specialized, then you can take an advantage of all this thing, man.
So what do you think?
It's like a ikigai, man. It's like
yeah.
So what you're good at,
what are you passionate about?
What you're passionate about, what society needs. This is a combination of this. This is considered as an ikigai, right? So all the knowledge combined, it's considered as like a polymath. That person is known as a polymath.
So what do you think a person should be, according to you? A generalist or a specialist?
I think that's very like this one. It's very subjective, to be honest.
That's why I asked.
And I think what happened is that a philosopher, right? A person who thinks very deep. If you go one into very deep, right? You understand the crux of it, right? And then you become like a philosopher. And if you go too wide also, right? And then also what happens is that you kind of become like a philosopher. So personally for me, okay, I would rather go like a wide than deep, man.
So generalist.
Yeah, generalist.
But don't you think to go wide, you have to go narrow first?
Yeah, in 1-2 subject first you have to go, and then gradually you have to acquire knowledge. But like this one, even that is very subjective, isn't it?
I'll tell you a story. So there's this guy called Brian May. Have you heard of him?
No. Like you just give me some this one.
Yeah, I'll give you context at the end. You definitely know him. So he was, I think he was in Oxford University, Cambridge or Oxford University. He did his master's in something in sound related physics, astrophysics or something like that. Astrophysics. And he got his PhD 30 years after he graduated his master's. The thesis that he has to submit. I'm just giving you the crux of the story. That took him 30 years. And during these 30 years, him and 4 or 5 of his friends, they started a rock band called Queen. You know Queen, the rock band.
No,
Okay.
is that music? This one,
That
guys.
is a music band.
I told you I'm very, this one.
You know, Bohemian Rhapsody.
I don't know.
Okay. So, Brian, when they were doing a show in Britain, somewhere, Wessex, when they were doing that show, Brian realized that the audience, it was a jam-packed show, the stadium was full. He realized that audience was singing back to him. But when he listened to the audience clearly, he realized that they're not singing the song. They're singing the very famous football chant from that year. It was 80s or something. And Brian realized that to innovate music, he has to do something to involve the audience into the song. And what he did, he revolutionized the music industry forever. They were creating a new song, Queen, the band. They went to this abandoned church where they usually practice. So he thought about it a long time, and he wanted to record the song in such a way that he wanted to indulge the whole audience in that song. They wanted the song listeners to become a part of it. So what he did was, he thought that, okay, this audience cannot sing with us in that song, but they can stomp and clap, right? But how do we record a song in such a way that the stomp and clap song sounds like millions of people in a stadium are stomping and clapping at the same time? So that's when his knowledge about sound physics and physics, sound, and some mechanical, so the whole wide range of. He was a brilliant musician. He was a guitarist, I think, songwriter and a singer and a guitarist, bassist, I think. He was professional at that. But he was also a student of physics, especially sound physics. So reverb, it's like if I stomp, if I bang this thing right now, it will echo in the whole building. So that is reverb. So computers weren't that advanced yet. So reverb didn't exist in that time. So what he did, he got a few wooden planks and told his band members to stomp and clap. Stomp on the wooden plank and clap. And the echo in the church, he recorded that. And in the computer, he put the recordings in prime numbers and aligned in that way that the stomp and clap would give a reverb effect. And at that thing, without any technology, that was absolute genius at that time. So he did that, and the song went on to become a world hit in late 80s. I don't remember the name, but in the late 80s or 70s, I don't remember. And people consider it to be the anthem of rock.
Oh, that one. We
will rock it. That song. Yeah, I told you, you know the song. Everyone. Dude, we have been listening to the song since school. That's how famous it was. And that song revolutionized the whole music industry. That was one of the core things of adding reverb to the song. So that's because that song happened because this guy was in different domains. That's why it is actually beneficial.
Yeah,
Go
but like
outside of
I
it.
can argue on that also, right? It's just an exception. Like we know, like some very handful of people, getting this kind of a thing, right? So yeah. But I personally think, if you have a diverse knowledge, right? No, I think it's a combination, right? I think if you having a combination is better. As you said, like not very wide, but like 1-2 subject deep,
He's an
but
exception.
not very wide.
But then
That is
having
what-
some degree of knowledge in everything is actually good.
Yeah,
Because
I really wanted to be that kind of a person, okay, who can have a conversation with
With anyone.
anyone,
Yeah.
right? Just be it a physicist, a mathematician, philosopher, astronomer, astrophysicist, anyone, a psychologist. I just want to have a genuine conversation, right?
Like
That
a
is my,
mechanic who's fixing an aircraft.
Yeah,
If you ever meet him, you want to talk to him. If you have some degree of knowledge, in a few things. You can expand on the topic by this. Okay, is it related to this topic?
Which one?
No, you can ask the person.
Okay.
It helps you build the conversation.
Yeah.
So
Question?
the next question is, what's one thing that you're really good at?
I'm not good at anything actually. Till now, okay. I'm not that good.
What do you think? What do you consider as good? Are you a perfectionist?
Yeah, I always try for excellence, right? But you can't be that perfect anytime, right?
What do you think perfect is?
Perfect means if you can do, when you can repeat the excellence, right? The same thing, the peak that you have done, right? Again and again and again. Repeat the same thing continuously, consistency, right? Then I think you have reached your perfection. Basically, what happened is that, I'll give you an example. Okay? If a Messi scores a free kick, once in a blue moon, it might just curve like a perfect curve, right? And go inside this one, right? If he can do it again and again and again, that means it's a perfection, right? So that is my definition of a perfection, and
But
I
would like to
don't have
say
any, yeah.
there, if you reach one peak once, you wouldn't want to go to that peak again. You'd want to go higher.
Yeah.
So the concept of perfection for you is ever changing. Don't you think?
Huh?
The concept of perfection is ever changing. Like right now, who you are right now, you might be wanting to be this person last year, a few years back. It's like
So yeah, it's like an infinity. Perfection is like an infinity. There's no end point. Right?
it's like Matthew McConaughey. Do you know Matthew McConaughey?
I
Have you
think
seen
I've
Wolf
heard
of
of
Wall
it.
Street?
Huh?
Have you seen Wolf of-
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that chest bump scene? This one. That's Matthew McConaughey. So, when he won an Oscar, during his speech, he told, when I was a struggling actor, a guy came up to me and asked me, so who's your hero?
Yeah.
Who's your role model? So he told, my role model is me in the next 5 years. So 5 years later, same person comes in and asks him, are you your role model right now? It's like, not even close. It's like, I'll be my role model in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
He comes after next 5 years, like, are you role model yet? Like, not even close. So then he realized, you can't ever become your role model. Because 5 years later, you've grown, you've evolved. You are that person who you wanted to be or better 5 years ago. But then, you don't remember it. Because you're chasing someone else right now.
Who's your role model? I think I've asked you last time also, right?
Yeah.
Oh, then I think you shouldn't repeat.
Are you religious?
Yeah, I do believe in God, and if that's your definition of this one, religions, and if you consider spiritual as a religion, then I do believe in religion.
It's not about if I consider it.
Yeah.
Do you consider it?
I do, but like like Buddhists are known for like a very religious monk, like. But yeah, I do agree, but I'm not that like always standing this one, the scripts and all, right? So yeah, I am religious, but I'm not that extreme.
So are you into bending rules?
Bending rules,
Like if it benefits you or
yeah,
anyone
obviously,
else?
yeah, obviously.
So you don't think you should be fair?
Fair.
Yeah, because if you remember, we had a conversation yesterday where you said if I become the CR,
Yeah.
if it is very needed, they give proxies.
Yeah, I will. If it's
So you don't
necessary.
believe in being fair?
So, and even you have this one pointed out that, like, why should other people suffer, right?
Yeah.
And
How is it fair to other people?
no, then I'll tell you the same thing, okay? Then why should he suffer?
Why?
Yeah.
He has to choose one thing. If his
No,
attendance
if
is
he,
more important.
this one, okay, if he has a chance to go out, and I also said if it's a genuine reason, okay, then I would give. And in this one, right, our philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, right, helping others is the main, the core beliefs in your life. It should be your the main
Well,
motto.
then I think Buddhism also.
And
teaches you
Buddhism
right.
very focuses, and I'll tell you one thing, okay, our high school, right, our motto of a college is come to learn, go to serve.
Come to learn, go to
Go to
serve.
serve, yeah.
So,
So
don't you
we
think?
believe in service, and we believe in like a selfless, care for others. So
Okay,
yeah.
so I agree. I completely agree with you. You should be selfless.
Yeah.
You should do what is right for others. You should serve others. But then don't you think there should be some sort of righteousness
Yeah.
Principle.
Principle. Yeah, there should be absolutely.
So isn't principle common for everyone?
I mean, I won't say see, okay, there's a two concept. If I am a CR, okay, there is one professional responsibility.
Yeah.
Professional, this one, I would say like in ethics or something. And then there is moral ethics, right? My
The
own
moral
personal, right? This one, professional, right? It won't allow me. But this one, the personal, right?
Moral.
It will allow, right? For example, in law also, right?
Then
If
you are
someone
being
comes-
biased.
Huh?
Aren't you being biased?
I am being biased, and that's my personal side, no?
Then
Even in law, okay. If you are a lawyer,
yeah.
if someone has come, okay, and for you to defend him, and he has done a crime, so there's a two. As a professional, right? See, this one lawyer, right? It's your responsibility to defend him, prove him innocent, right? But there will be your inner voice, right? The personal one. Will you accept it?
No.
If
If
you
it's
won't,
there is no-
right? See, then
See, but then
it depends on-
they are using the existing rules
Huh?
to find loopholes. Is there a loophole in giving proxies? There isn't.
No, I'm telling you, okay, there's a two, considering the fact that this one, as a if I am a CA, okay, and if you're just talking individually about like a CA, okay, then a CR, okay, then I wouldn't give a proxy. Why would I give, man? Yeah, it depends, like everyone is suffering, right? Why would, he get, some special right?
Yeah, but then don't you think he has to choose? Do you believe like you have to sacrifice one thing for the other?
No, you can, there's a concept, okay, in Hindi. It's called, kuch paani ke liye kuch khona padta hai. No, not necessarily. You can get everything in life, man.
You can't.
No, you don't have to sacrifice. Like, why would you? Oh, this is the ideology. Okay, what is happening with the Indian people? I'll tell you. Not Indian people, but in people in general. Okay, their ancient civilization. Okay, they have made a lot of like a codes like this one. कुछ पानी के लिए कुछ खोदना पड़ता है और like this one. अगर चादर में पैर नहीं आ रहे तो क्या बोलना है?
हाँ.
चादर छोटा करना है. Something like that, right?
जितनी चादर अपने पैर फैलाने चाहिए.
हाँ, why? Get a bigger blanket, no?
Yeah. See, I'm all in for getting a bigger blanket.
This is the preconceived notion that people have, okay? And then because of this ideology, okay, we have this false consciousness. And people think that, okay, I can't do this because like this one, वही बोला ना, क्या बोल रहा है, कुछ पानी के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. That means I have to lose something. No, not necessarily. You don't have to lose anything to get something, right? Yeah, in certain cases you have to lose something to get something higher, right? But it's not in every cases.
But don't you think there's nothing as free lunch?
Huh?
There's nothing as free lunch.
Yeah, it depends on the people, right? If the intention is good.
Yeah.
There's some people, okay, some monk, okay, they don't expect anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a free life, they're giving you very. Okay, if you go to Himalaya, okay, you go and tell him to teach me something about all of this meditations and all, okay, he will teach you everything. Does he, is he getting anything? No, not necessarily. No, he is not getting anything, right? So it's a free lunch for
See, it's not free.
The free lunch is basically you used in a corporate world, right? There's a transaction.
There is something, or everything is a transaction.
No, not everything.
I believe everything is a transaction. See, you do something or the other thing. Like, there's no such thing as free lunch because even your time is valuable. They say time is money. If you're sitting here right now, you're losing, you could do something else.
Yeah.
Opportunity cost. You know why these auto wallahs, they take 5 minutes for waiting 5 minutes, they'll take, okay, I'll charge extra 10 rupees. You know why?
I'll get what?
So, these auto wallahs,
Yeah.
if they're waiting for you, they're like, wait for some time, I'll be back. You know why they charge the
Okay,
waiting
they
period?
go and take a round and just.
Do you think why they charge the waiting period time?
I don't know.
Because at the cost of them waiting for you, they could have gone and they could have gotten any other person. So they're making you compensate for the opportunity cost they're losing. Sometimes it's not materialistic thing. There's nothing you can see that's tangible you're losing. Sometimes you're just using an opportunity.
Yeah.
So you're losing something.
So what is your this one? I mean, what are you trying to say?
So I'm trying to say you are going to lose something. So it's
Then everyone is losing something. No?
yeah, there's everyone. If you're winning,
If you consider something, no. Basically, what happens in Indian society? Okay, we had this one. कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean time. That doesn't mean time. In some sense, it means right. But कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना चाहता है. That means we are basically talking about if you want that kind of a life, right? Then you have to lose something. For example, if you want fame, then you have to lose this some freedoms and all, right? So that is what we are talking about. And not time. Obviously, you do anything, you lose your time, man. Even if you're sitting here, right? You're losing your
exactly.
time.
That's why you're losing something.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're losing something.
Then Then how come it's so, this one? Like it's not related to this one concept only. कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है.
Isn't time valuable?
It is valuable.
Then
It is
you're
one of the
using
most
something
valuable.
valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. You say you're agreeing with me.
Then like no one can compete with this one. No, like obviously you're losing time.
Yeah. So you're losing something since time is valuable.
No, I don't feel like I'm losing my time. I'm just like utilizing my time. This is what I feel.
See,
Right now, it's properly efficient.
You're not losing time. You're just using this time instead of something else.
Yeah, but even in that something else, okay, I'm losing my time.
You'll be losing something.
Yeah.
So every time you're losing something or the else, and you're
But I
something
think
else.
if you really understand this one, like कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है, I think that doesn't include that time. This is what I think.
Why not?
No, like basically this is not like what people have meant. Okay, when they they made the code like कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है.
Yeah, they meant something.
They meant something
tangible.
else. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. They mean like if you want the fame, then you have to sacrifice on your freedom. If you want money, then you have to sacrifice on something else, emotions and all, right? So basically, like in general, right?
So you agree with that quote?
Which one?
कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना
No, you can get everything.
Why?
I don't agree, huh?
You can't get everything.
No, you can. If you wish, and wish not necessarily means like like just dreaming about it. Okay, if you're actively doing something about it, then you will get anything. Like universe is really this one. Like,
Okay, so
it's really good, man. There's a manifestation, right? Manifestation plus, if you're actively, doing what you really want, right? Then I think God is very generous.
see, there is one thing that you can't get back. There's one.
Don't tell me it's time.
It is time.
Okay, then.
See, time is one thing that you lose and win at the same time. Right now.
But like we can also say in this one, कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. Time is constant, man. Time is constant.
Time is time.
Like when they were talking about this one, time is constant.
How is time constant?
Time is constant.
How?
It doesn't change. What do you mean by constant? First tell me.
Constant is something that is just there.
No, not there. Okay, there. It is there. Yeah, it's saying no. Like it's there, right? And then what happened? It's like constant means just just running at a constant speed, right? It's not increasing. It's not decreasing. So time is there. But like in that one, like we're not in this one.
But time for you is not there. Time as a concept,
yeah, it's
is there. But as a person, for me, time might be decreasing or increasing.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends. Like this one, I've read some time this one general theory of relativity. It says that time is very subjective.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that reminds me. Reading. You started reading a book. Possibilities.
Yeah, the possibilities.
What is it about?
It's about like what is not possible for human, right? So basically, she says that everything is possible. The very same manifestations are now, right? This is exactly what I've read from there, man. Like if you wish for something, if you manifest purely, right, and if you're doing actively something, right, towards that mission, then you can achieve anything. That's why there's nothing called impossible. But like don't say that like I want to fly, then obviously it's not possible, right? Practically, if it's a pragmatic approach, then yeah, I think everything is possible, man. If you see from practical approach. Yeah, this is what it says. I've not finished it yet, but yeah, 10-15 pages.
So what was your thought process before this book?
Before this book,
and how has it changed it?
I wouldn't say I know all this concept, and I'm more convinced after reading this book. That's why I said like it's a good book in class. I did say that to you, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm more convinced now than before, and it's not like I've just learned something new. I just know the information, but I'm just more convinced after reading this book.
So this book has convinced you about manifestation.
Manifestation, yeah.
About working.
Yeah, everything is possible. Yeah, working hard, achieving. This one. All.
So is it the type of book that you usually read, or is it out of it?
No, it's kind of like a self-help book only, right? So I read like a finance self-help, and I'm trying to. I've also read history books and all, right? And I've read this one, The Wealth of the Nation. It's fucking huge, man. It's like this much. You know that one, right? The Wealth of the Nation. All the economics that we study right now, everything comes, because of Adam Smith.
Because of?
Adam Smith. Adam Smith, right? So his book, right, The Wealth of the Nation. This is his actual book, The Wealth of the Nation, right? In 1776, he has written this book.
Still applicable.
And all right now we are studying, right? Class 9, 10, 11, 12, everything is inside. Like it's just being, this one, taken from this book, Wealth of the Nation.
No,
and it's very complex. I couldn't understand a lot of concepts.
I think from the last conversation we had, I took up your advice on like just listening, even if you're not interested, just listen. So, how has that come up to you? Just
Listening.
Yeah.
And I would say I did my high school in YouTube, man. It's like a college life and all, right? Because I've learned majority of my things right from YouTube only by like a great influencers. And so basically, this is that if you want to be like this one, right, a good conversationalist, right? Not necessarily you have to talk smart shit. Yeah, you do have to do
Yeah, you have
talk
to do
smart
something,
shit,
yeah.
right? But like more important is listening to others. So yeah, like what happened is that even in the Dalai Lama, right, this one, this one spiritual leader, he says that when you are speaking, you just you know what you are speaking, right? So basically, what happens is you're just uttering the same word that you know.
Yeah.
But when you're listening, you might know something new. So the very concept of like something interesting might come. Yeah, it makes me listen and be passionate about this one listening and just passionate about what he curious about what he's going to say next.
So, curiosity.
Yeah, I think it's very important.
What about embarrassment?
Embarrassment, yeah, you do need that kind of a moment in life. Even I'm like this one when I was in high school. Okay, I was like I'm a very kind of a like not very, but like I am a kind of a shy guy, man. I don't talk in a stage a lot of time, and I do, but not a lot.
So, do you have fear of going on stage fright? Do you have?
No, I don't. Stage? No, I don't.
No.
No, I don't.
So you don't necessarily let the perception of others of you affect you.
But like, what happens is that like, what kind of a stage also depends, right?
And that's that.
Yeah. So in a like this one in a big stage, right? When everyone is silent, then obviously I get nervous and all, right? Like if I'm prepared, then I won't. Like even like there's some minute nervous, right? But like if it's a small or like in our class or in an auditorium, like a proper mic and all, then I'm fine, man. What I want is like this one. I want like a 10-15 minutes proper time before going to the stage. Then yeah, I'm fine, man. If you just abruptly go like let me go to a stage, right, where if the topic is given like where I don't know anything, right, then I would get like a nervous, obviously.
So nervousness. So that reminds me. Recently, me and Abhishek from BBF and
Abhishek, yeah, the dancer.
Yeah, the dancer. We were having a conversation about ego and competition. His take was you should have ego, and my take was you should have ego controlled. Like when he was a young dancer, he was the best where he was, and that got him. That got to his ego. But when he got to the next level, he saw that he's not even 1% of the people who were there. So, do you think ego is necessary? Ego is necessary, don't you think? Do you think?
Ego.
What do you think ego is according to you?
According to my definition of Tenzin's Act 2023, my definition of ego is, I would say, overconfident plus arrogant, and I think it's ego. And what happened is that I don't think ego is like it's necessary. Just like those people who have ego, I think they are trash. I do believe in self-respect. I do believe in self-respect that like you deserve something better, right? And that is not ego. And if you know that you
wanting for what you should deserve.
Yeah, so like this one, you have to give yourself priority, right? And like you have to know that what you deserve also, right? And I think this one, people, right? This one, if you just give yourself priority, and if you know what is important for you, right? And I think if you have that self-respect, right, then I think it's good. And like too much of self-respect is also not that good, right? So there are some people who needs like a respect,
validation,
validation and all, right? And I don't believe in that kind of a thing, right? What happens is that if other people genuinely think that you deserve respect, right, then obviously they'll give it to you, right? If other people don't think that you deserve respect, then they won't give it. They don't give a shit about you, right? And I do believe in self-respect, but I don't believe in ego, man. I think ego is a trash, man.
But I think People.
Ego is just a 3 word which describes a very big letter like a relationship. RELAN. This is a quote, man.
I personally believe it's the world will treat you how you treat yourself.
Yeah.
If you treat yourself with self-respect, if you treat yourself with care, if you treat yourself with love, you don't have to necessarily ask for it. People will give it to you. I recently attended a seminar on public speaking. They told I have stage fear. So they told, just imagine, it's not you are looking at them, they are looking at you. You're that worth it. You're the price. You're that worth it that they are looking at you. Now, it's not you are looking at them. So that changes your perspective. If you think of yourself as the prize that other people must, chase you, think of yourself as a prize, an accomplishment. That's also very cocky.
Yeah, and I want to at this point out towards I don't know how to just judge a dance, right?
Judge what?
Dance performance. I'm
Dance,
talking about Abhishek.
yeah.
I'm talking about Abhishek, right? I don't know, I don't have a very good knowledge about
Dance.
performance and all, right? So what I would say if he were here is that if you think you really wanted to, if you really wanted to, if you're, I don't know what is his real goal, man. If his real goal is doing a dance performance in your future, then obviously I think he's in the wrong this one. He's in a wrong area.
Position.
Yeah, wrong area or in a wrong environment. Because like I told you, if you want to be the best, right, then you have to surround yourself with the smart people. Smart people in a sense, not necessarily better than you. So right now, I think he won the best answer in college, isn't it?
Bangalore something. He
won it, right? That means he's in a wrong group, man. You have to compete with the great, this one, the legends, if you want to be the best.
So you strive for the best.
Yeah, I always try for the best. Yeah.
So you said being arrogant is wrong. Do you think being arrogant is wrong?
Yeah, according to me, it's wrong.
But what if that arrogance is backed up with the
even if it's backed up with I don't care how much of he has this one qualification and all, right? I do if he has that much of a this one, right? This one, if he has that much of a qualification, right, then people will definitely respect him.
He doesn't have to beg for it.
He doesn't have to beg for it, and if he's demanding for this one. And if he's being this one arrogant, right, or the word ego, right?
Egoistic.
Being egoistic, that means
he's a crybaby.
Yeah, he's a crap.
He's
a crap man.
crying
He's full
out.
of shit.
Full of shit. He's asking for it. He's like, please, validation. So this is a very deep question, but since we are students, are you?
I've not heard of any of this answer. Yeah, just go.
It's good actually. So, are you happy?
Yeah. So overall, I'm happy. But if you want some more detail, then you have to ask me. In that specific domain.
What do you mean specific domain? So,
specific domain, according to your career, are you happy?
College life.
According to college life, I'm not happy. College life, I'm totally not happy. I'm happy.
What? Why?
Because I don't feel like I'm learning something in college. Okay, I told you my this one greatest learning is in YouTube, right? YouTube University, or what I call it YouTube University. Right? People call it WhatsApp University. Right? So in college we don't have that kind of outside the box thinking kind of a session. So I'll give you an example. Okay, I do agree that we have good teachers in our college. But we don't have an extraordinary teacher, right? And if you want me to explain what is the difference between good teacher and an extraordinary teacher, is that good teacher is a teacher who teaches what he is supposed to teach, what he is supposed to teach. That means the entire syllabus, right? An extraordinary teacher is that teacher who not necessarily, doesn't necessarily, it doesn't mean that he, teaches all the syllabus, but goes beyond and teach something different, overall, which is, value addition for your life. Then I would say we don't have a zero. I would say 0% we have
but don't you think that's how the whole curriculum is set in India?
Yeah, it
stick
is.
to the syllabus. That's it.
Yeah.
Even right now, I can see a few people who, if a teacher goes beyond syllabus and teaches us, Like, sir, just please stick to the syllabus.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not willing to learn it. They don't have that willingness. That's why I'm saying, curiosity is really important. Being curious of everything. Like, if you're doing this one, why are you doing this? If you're wearing specs, why are you wearing specs? If you're like drinking this, why are you drinking this? Questioning the everything, man. This is, I think, it's called the first principle, right?
Of philosophy.
First principle of physics, I guess.
What?
Physics.
Questioning everything.
Yeah, questioning everything.
It's also philosophy.
Okay.
So it's like, why? How did
Yeah,
philosophy
it
come?
might be in philosophy, but like what happens in engineering. Okay, I've like heard this in a story. They'll teach you about like the first principle in engineering, where they say that you have to question everything, like everything, like why is it there, why is it this. So yeah, it's interesting, And like I do think that we don't have I'm telling you, I was talking about this one. Right, we have a good teacher, we have an extraordinary teacher. There's a kind of a teacher, right? We have a lot of good teachers. We don't have even a single extraordinary teacher in our college, but like we do have some good good human, not good teacher, good human. Good people, right? And I would categorize this one, Tirupati sir, as a good human, not a good teacher. And he's not even like a extraordinary teacher.
So, what would you want as a change in your college life?
College life?
Yeah. Because I was recently researching about specifically college life and I came across this video on YouTube where the guy is talking about, he's from Columbia, he studied in Columbia University. It's like Ivy League school. That they don't have this concept of attendance.
Yeah, they don't have.
They don't have concept of dress code. They don't have concept of.
But like, I do think that Christ, let's give it like a little this one.
It's getting over.
No, this one. Let's give a good marks to this one. Christ towards this one. I think very formal is good, man. I feel good, man. I don't know. What about you? You don't like it?
It's bittersweet.
Okay.
Like sometimes, I just feel like it is good. Like, it's about how you present yourself.
Yeah,
you should present yourself decently.
And then what happens if you're in a good formal, right? People respect you.
See, suit
how you dress yourself. And then I'm telling you, okay, if you like, if Christ decides that no, you don't have to wear formals from tomorrow, okay, people will come, especially boys. They'll come in like this one, a pink.
They'll come with a hoodie and shorts. They don't care.
Yeah.
But I except for the suit that Christ provides, everything else, I'm alright with that. Because formals.
Yeah, that's why you're not wearing the college.
I never wear the college suit because I'm very particular about suits. Like last year, I was trying to build a new sense of fashion.
Even I did some research when we were talking about this one, right?
Suits.
So one is like a made up, one is off the rack.
Yeah, there is three types. There is
bespoke.
There's off the rack.
There
is custom.
Ready to make, like it's called, I think, ready to make or something.
That's off the rack, custom, bespoke.
Yeah.
Off the rack is actually how it is. Off the rack.
Yeah. So
you just take it out of the rack. If it fits you, done well and good. You wear it. If it doesn't fit you, that's what you custom made. You make small adjustments to that particular suit that you got it off the rack. If there's a suit hanging around, in Zara, you just take it out, adjust it. That's custom. Bespoke is when you go to a store, and this is what I recommend to everyone who's getting.
But it's costly also.
See, suits are supposed to be like that.
Yeah, but like
suit is a modern day armor. It's like it's the best way to present yourself. If you're getting a suit, I would strongly suggest getting bespoke. Bespoke in itself, the word means personalized for you.
Yeah.
So bespoke suit, you get a color, you get a cloth, and accordingly he'll make it for you. And I see so many people who wear a suit in the most horrible possible way. They don't know how to wear a suit. There's two types of suits. There is proper full like pant and the jacket, suit jacket is the same color, and there is business casual, where maybe beige pant, light blue shirt, navy suit. It's business casual. And then the pants, dude. I see so many guys.
And
how
suit has to be fitting.
Yeah, exactly. And we live in a generation where I want everything oversized. Those kind of people. Fitted people, like actually fitted clothes that it's not like skin tight, but it fits you. It is made for you. That is necessary. And I see so many guys who wear pants so horribly. It is either low waist or it's just below the waist.
I have a main problem with the shoes, man. They don't polish their shoes, man. That's the main problem. Have you seen people polishing their shoe, man? Even he doesn't polish his shoe.
Shoes and accessories. Don't even get me started on it. I've seen, especially teachers, Tirupati sir, I've seen him wear brown belt and black shoes. That's the most horrible combination I've ever heard. I was seeing shoes, belt. If you're wearing suspenders, well and good. If you're wearing belt, then it's fine. Belt and then watch.
Do you know? That's why, particularly because of suit, I bought this kind of a watch. Otherwise, I would have gone with the smartwatch.
It should match. I wear smartwatch because it is utility. I get all the notifications here. I don't trust Apple for their battery. That's why I always have another device on me. But if I'm wearing a suit, it is going to be a normal analog watch, old school. Your belt and your shoes. If you're not wearing a watch, it's fine. Your belt and your shoes should always match. It's not like brown shoes, black belt, or black shoes, brown belt. That's not the way. Brown shoes, brown belt. And the brown, it doesn't go with everything. Navy, brown, or sometimes maybe grey. But not everything goes well with brown shoes and brown belt. So that's one thing I appreciate about Christ. But then there's many things that I don't appreciate about Christ too. 85% attendance.
Yeah, man.
I don't understand the concept of attendance.
Yeah, this is what this one, my main problem with the Christ College. Like, just with this one, just imagine, okay, our Chirag sir, right? You know Chirag sir, right? I told him that I'm interested in law when I was in this one, the first semester, right? I told him that just be a little loud, okay? I don't know if it's like.
I'm being loud.
This one. I asked him, sir, I'm interested in law, right? I want to do something in law. So, give me some roadmap of what should I do and what should I not do. Like, he told me that first is get out from a Christ. Yeah, man, he told me exactly, get out from a Christ. He told me
that's brilliant.
And then he told me just go and get a local law university, right?
Yeah.
Just this one, get admitted to the college, okay? Don't attend any classes. Study everything in your just go to your room and just study on your own, right? Study everything. Go take a test. Take a college test also. You'll get 2 certificates together, college and law. Yeah. This is what he said, man. And I was like, yeah, man, because it's
why don't you do law after CA?
Huh?
Why don't you do law after CA?
I might do, man.
There is actually scope. There has been great lawyers. See, you have 2 specialized. You're a CA. That's specialized in tax. There is law. Sorry, there is accounts. Yeah. There is FM. You specialize in those, and then the next best thing.
So
law.
Yeah, it's basically like this one, man. A polymath. So you're doing CA, right? This one skill. And if you do CFA, it's more like a finance oriented. If you do law,
it's law oriented.
Deadliest combination.
That's exactly.
And even if you do some technology, right? It's a deadliest combination, man.
You're unbeatable. You're specialized in the most demanding things in the country. Because
I think I have a note where I've written that a deadliest combination, right? First is maths. I think maths is also really important. Maths, law, a good English, and I think it's some a finance. A very deadly combination, right? So yeah.
So we have holidays coming up.
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't have any plan, man. Just studying. Honestly, I have to cover a lot of things.
But usually, what do you do when
it's a holiday, right?
It's finally a holiday. You sit there, and what's your daily routine look like in a holiday?
I have a very interesting approach to a holiday. Okay.
Yeah.
What people will do is that tomorrow is a holiday. Enjoy. Right? Yeah, this is what happens. Okay. But I have this, I don't know, okay, something inserted into my brain. Okay, tomorrow is a holiday, I have to study today.
Why?
I don't know. I feel great satisfaction from there, okay. Feeling that, okay, everyone is enjoying. I'm studying, man. I don't know, okay. I really don't know.
You feel like you're better than them, maybe?
Not better than them, but it might be trying harder than them. Yeah, so even if it's a holiday, okay, I don't care if I go gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. I will go gym every Saturday, man, because they're enjoying. Right? I don't miss Saturday gym, man. Honestly.
So it's okay, those people are enjoying, but then I'm here doing my stuff because I think and that enjoyment isn't for me.
Yeah. Maybe. So basically, I would say a smart people this one. I think you asked me what is the definition of a smart people, right? Mm-hmm. And as people evolve, I think I've evolved in last 1 month. We had a conversation, back to the last 1 month, right? So
a
month. 3-4 weeks. So I do think human evolve, and as I do, And I think my definition of a smart is that if you're able to sacrifice the short term, how would I put it? Like if you're able to sacrifice short term happiness for a long, So if you're able to sacrifice short term pleasure for a long term pleasure,
Yeah.
right, then I would say, he's a smart, smart
So
person.
you're oriented towards long term planning.
Yeah, definitely. But like it's not like a long term 10 years something, right? So what happens is that you have to set like a short term, like a day to day, daily this one, and then you have your own goal of 1, 2, 3 years, right? And then you have a very long term goal, 10, 20 years, and then you have a longer than this one.
That
50 years.
reminds me of what my father says. So my dad gets holidays from work on Saturday and Sunday. So I always see him on his laptop working something or the other. If he's not working, he's learning something. So I asked him, why don't you take the holidays off? So he's like, during the holidays, I prepare for the days that I have to work. Like he calls it pre-Monday. People ask him, what do you do on Sunday? With the most straightest face, he's like, I prepare for Monday.
Yeah,
That is probably the best answer.
I prepare for Monday, yeah, man.
Then
And then I want to add this one thing. Okay, you bring your father a lot of time, right? So
Yeah.
basically, I mean, like it might be like he might act like a mentor for you, right? But very honestly, okay, my father and I have a zero relation. Zero relation, not in this one, okay? Relation in a sense, common.
there's nothing in common.
Huh?
There's nothing in common.
No, I'm not asking. I'm telling you mine, man. My dad and me, right? He's in army, right?
He's in army?
Yeah. No, not now. He was in this one ex-army, right?
Okay.
So he voluntarily retired, and then what happened is that he doesn't he knows Hindi and all, right? He can't read and write. He can't read he can't even read English, man. I'm telling you, man. He just understands some basic words, okay? But he's really good in Tibetan. He doesn't understand anything in English, man. Most word he doesn't understand. He just understand thank you, welcome, and all, right?
Yeah.
And my mom, right? Even she's not a very educated, man. So basically, I'm a very different. They what is their perception is that we have this in this one, right? I wouldn't say I think you might have seen in China, right? They don't encourage people to learn English. You know that Chinese people.
Yeah.
I think
In Japan also.
in less than 5% of the Chinese people, right? Not even 5, man. They don't speak if you go to university, right? They don't no one understand English, man.
Yeah, they're like, if you want to speak to us in
So yeah. So even my mom is not very much, but still, our family, this one, my grandmother and all, they don't know English at all, man. They're like, no, man, why do you study English? You go and study Tibetan. And I was like, no, mom, it's important for me, later, So yeah, this is kind of a situation, man.
So do you enjoy the work that you do?
Enjoy the work. What do you mean by work, man? This one. Do you consider my online classes as a work or
No.
what work?
Constantly on the move, on the learn, on something. that
Yeah, I
you-
do enjoy it, and I do enjoy it. And I have a concept that I don't regret at all, man. I just look forward. There's a quote, man. I forgot, man. I just look forward and hope, not backward and regret, man.
That's
Yeah, I just look forward and look forward and hope, not backward and regret, man. Yeah. So if something is done, right, I don't waste my time in regretting and all. I just do something what needs to be done.
So do you have any regrets in life?
Regrets?
Are you consider as regrets?
No, I don't believe in regrets. If I don't believe, then probably there's no such thing as regret in my life. And I don't believe in regret, honestly.
No, if you have to, if you could choose one thing, okay, fine, this I think I regret this decision I made.
No, I don't have any regrets, man. Because I didn't make a big decision, in my life. That big decision, right? So no, I don't have any regret, honestly. Do you have any regret?
There is one.
Yeah, what is it?
I mean,
Yeah, I would say I'm the regret. I would consider this because I'm when I was in high school, right? I'm not very. I told you, right? I do go to stage and all, but I should have done it more frequently, man.
yeah, that's one. My biggest regret of all time is, see, it's not nothing it's a bit emotional. So in 2019, I lost a very close friend of mine in a bike accident. And the biggest regret is me not going to his funeral because I wasn't brave enough to face it. We, three of us, we were friends for 13 years. And then suddenly one day, before the night, of his accident, we had a fight because
Oh, that's interesting.
we had a fight because all his life he was interested in something else to pursue as a career or in life. But then suddenly it had changed because of some external influences. He found some new friends in high school. I had changed schools, and that had impacted what he was going to. He was leaning towards what he thought he was good at instead of what he actually was good at. So I was trying to make him understand. The conversation got heated, and then we got the call in a
Have
bad
you ever had a situation where you had to fight or something?
physically.
Yeah, physically in life. I've never fought in life, man.
There,
Honestly,
there,
not
there,
like a physical fight, man. I've never, man.
I had to out of my own decision. No, but then I was a student of martial arts. I did have some fights like as tournament fights. But then there was this one fight in it was a practice fight where I had to punch a guy. I was trying to punch it. It was boxing. I was trying to punch the guy, and he did something, and I hit his elbow, and his elbow hit my knuckle, and there was I think some hair fracture in my knuckle. So this was probably one time I had to go to the hospital because of an injury. But then getting into fights,
I really want to I really wanted to learn. Right now, I'm I just go to gym and all, right? So I find this one very interesting. I want
but
to
I don't think you should
boxing.
see boxing as self-defense or as a sport. If you're interested in,
Yeah,
it,
I'm really interested in boxing.
I would say you should.
Yeah, not
Yeah, you
like a
should
professional
ask-
fighter, no.
No, no,
Just learning
Yeah.
self-defense.
Not self-defense. If you're into
What I like about those kind of an athletes, right? Athletes in a sense, so sports athletes or like the boxer and all. Right? I like their attitude, man. Their attitude towards life, man. It's like all in, man. They just before a fight, okay, they have like a 6-7 months of training.
Yeah.
They can. Do you know how much a hard work they put in all this thing? They have
From
the
day one.
mentality is that I'll break his fucking all the bones, man. They have this mentality, right? And just imagine, okay, if you could divert this one, right, the energy or that enthusiastic or that kind of excitement, right, into your own work, man. Just imagine, I'll just
You will be
fucking
unbeatable.
study everything, right? You'll be unbeatable, right? So that's why I really wanted to learn, fighting and all, just because I want to, get this
Get the
kind
mindset,
of mindset.
I
and all.
know. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think one should get into physical fights, especially street fights, because you would never know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, no, not street fight, yeah.
And, if you're going into professional boxing,
Not
and
even
fighting,
professional.
yeah.
Just,
but
I just want that
if you
mentality.
want to just get into a ring with someone, let's duke it out in the ring. It's fine. But you never know how things might turn out in real life. If you're on the street with a guy, you don't know what will happen to that person or you. Someone might even lose their life.
Yeah.
This happens.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
even professional fighters, they do not encourage you go and pick a fight, or if someone is picking a fight with you, try to talk it out verbally. This annual stuff when it comes he did this to you, go beat him up.
Yeah, what is your take on him, man? And
My take on him.
I have listened to probably I just watch all of his vlogs, all the his interview podcast. He has his own podcast where it's called War Room. So basically, the room is a war room, and the meeting is called emergency meeting.
Yeah.
And
Because-
he'll call a bunch of people, and they just he's very this one, man, very smart.
I agree to him with some.
I like the way he talks. Do you know have you ever seen him talk?
Yeah.
He's very good at talking, man. He's very good at convincing other people.
Persuasion. Yeah, that's one thing I'm very interested in. If I have to choose domain other than CA or finance, I would choose convincing, negotiation, and persuasiveness. How to be more
How to convince other
how to convince others, how to be more influential
Yeah.
by just using words.
Do you know that he was the most influential person in 2021?
Yeah.
The top in Google.
There is this book called Art of Seduction. So that's one way to persuade people. Seduction is not just sexual. it's about by words. How do you gain control of their thoughts? How do you gain control of their actions? So it started long back. There is Cleopatra, there is
No,
Casanova.
just what is your opinion on Andrew Tate, man? Like, you have not seen a lot of his videos, right?
Not
But
a lot.
still, like, you have some ideas.
I have a lot of ideas.
You went to
Like,
jail and all.
Yeah. To some degree, whatever he says,
Do you like him as a person?
as a person, that's debatable.
Okay, no. Like, in general, do you like him as a person? Or like, do you agree with what he says
To a certain degree.
to some
certain
extent?
degree.
Okay, yeah.
Like the content he puts on saying like men and women are not equal.
Yeah, that part you don't. You disagree.
No, I agree with him to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking physically, of course, we're not equal.
Yeah.
But then if you're talking mentally, mental power and the willpower, the knowledge, the influence, the equal opportunity they get, I think there is no
I really
problem
like
with
the way you talk. Okay, if you ask me, right? So how do you make a decision in life? Like, how do you make a decision in life? So basically, you weigh everything, right? Okay, this is disadvantage, this is disadvantage, and then you weigh. Okay, if it's like a more of an advantage, then yeah, I'll go ahead with this
that
one.
normally
Yeah, normally, right? And I would say ambivert is like that kind of a situation only. He has a lot of positive things, a lot of negative things also. But like if you combine two, like I think he has a more positive. So I would like consider him as a role model in that sense, like convincing other people how he talks.
See, he chose the right target audience. Like right now, because of modernity, a few years back when COVID hit, we were on lockdown.
Yeah.
And men especially felt like, okay, we're not getting that enough, this thing, like the mentors is way too much for men. And that's when he came to the
like
picture.
a lot of men started giving up, like their life.
He was like a messiah. He was like the light for men. He wanted, he just spoke what men wanted to hear, majority of men.
And just I told you, right? I like this one, the boxing, that mentality. I want to break all the bones. That I wanted to divert this, this, right? I said this because I saw this mentality in him. He's like, I want to break that fucking bone of like each and everything because of this mentality. Because he's a warrior. He is
he was
a boxer. Kickboxer, right? So yeah, because of this one, I got like
the way he persuades, the way he talks, how he talks, and when he talks. I'll tell you, whatever bullshit even he talks, you think, oh, this is the lamest shit he ever spoken.
He uses a lot of good words.
He
like
uses logic. He knows when to speak and what to speak and how to speak it. He speaks what people want to hear.
Yeah.
He shows them what they want to see, and that's the whole ideology behind even that what is his university called? Hustle University. that whole hustle culture and all. He came into the right moment. He chose the right target audience.
So do you consider this as a luck?
No, it's not luck.
It's not like then, but
to a certain degree, it might be, but majoritarily, he
right time at the right time.
Right time. Even getting at the right time, it's a bit of luck.
Yeah, and what about his brother, man? Even he's like a very influential. His brother, I don't think you know him. Twisted, you know him, right? So he is known for like all these suits and all, right?
His suits collection.
Cigar, the lighter. Do you know he pays like this one? I think he has like one of the most expensive lighter. Man. He paid $55,000 for a lighter. Man.
What?
Lighter.
$55,000
for a lighter. Yes. And cigar also, he paid like 50,000 for a cigar, man.
Yeah, I can understand cigar. I don't understand lighter.
Oh my god, man!
Like Cuban cigars, I know. Like that's what that's one of the
this one. Have you ever smoked in your life?
No,
you haven't, right? So are you planning to smoke later in future? Might not be.
Might be.
But what about cigar, man? Because cigar and cigarettes are very different.
I would. Cigarettes, I don't know.
Yeah.
But cigars, I would.
It's very interesting. Have you a conversation with a cigar, man?
Cigar is like a symbol of status. Maybe if you can, it is a symbol of.
I've searched this one, a cigar house in this one, Bangalore, and I think it's in Jayanagar or something. Man.
There is a specific way actually. I had like how to light a cigar, how to cut it. Cigar is like, some people might think it's controversial, but so cigar might be the most masculine
thing.
Yeah, it's like you're in a suit one leg up
Having
on
a
the
cigar.
other with a cigar and
Talking about geopolitics.
you're talking about something else. It's not about. See, then again, if you see a person smoking a cigar with sunglasses on in some random airport lounge, some lounge in Italy, you would think he's some stuff, he's some shit. You don't look at this qualification then.
Yeah, I agree.
There's something, and I would love to, if I ever get the opportunity. That's a symbol of status for me. And
Even in gym, okay, I've seen a lot of people like listening to Andrew Tate's podcast.
there is this one specific
Even I
guy.
do that, man.
There's this one specific guy. One day it was shoulder day, I guess. So one guy I was struggling to do lateral raises. So he just came behind me. He just started supporting me. So I was like, oh, fine, it's normal. So I was done with lateral raises. Then he comes up, shoulder presses. There's a small machine. So I was doing shoulder presses. He's like, I'll tell you, it's not proper form. So I stepped out, showed him the proper form, and usually I do 7 or 10 max. He was constantly pushing me. I did 15 or 20 that day, and my shoulders were killing me the next day.
Yeah.
He was proper. I can see the devotion of Andrew Tate in him.
Yeah, even like I would consider myself as like this one. I've not seen even a single person, okay, like till now. He's like who is like a this one who's like a more fan than me, man. I really like both the guys, man. Honestly, just completely like them. Man.
That guy, after every set, he just put his head down and was sitting like this.
Yeah.
And that's
Top G.
Top G.
You know what do you mean by top G?
Top.
So basically, what happened is that, okay, I'll tell you, okay, this is what I made, okay. During war, so if you're in a boxing match, okay, or like if you are like against a villain, or if you're against a hero, anyone, okay, top G means top gangster. So you go everyone, fuck everyone, okay, just beat the shit out of them. And then if you're in a business decision, right, if everyone is like looking professional, then you are top G, top gentleman. Oh shit, top gentleman.
I get you. So war, you said war. So coming to war.
Yeah.
What do you think of
right now the situation?
Yeah.
I think I'm not qualified, enough to speak on this topic. Irrespective of that, I do have a lot of opinion on that, and I don't mind speaking them, even if it's wrong, because that's just my opinion. Yeah. So I would say what is happening right now is that Israel as a country is a very unstable country. Because of law, man. Yeah, unstable country, and it's one of the most ancient civilization in this entire universe. So yeah, they had a great history, and what is happening is that even in Israel, right? Do you know this one? German people, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were so they wanted to kill all the
eradicate
the entire population. Okay, right now, I think they have almost like a population of 14 million people, Jewish. And 7 million people, I think they are in the United States of America, right, in the free land. And then rest 7 million, they are in Israel. So right now what is happening is that Israel people, right, I think even in Israel, there is Palestine, right. So basically what happened is that they're not very, I think, it's like a Pakistan or India to some extent, they don't have a very good relation. They have always border conflict issues, right. And then inside Palestine, right, they have two groups. One is social groups, right? Like people who thinks that this one helping Palestine people, and then there is Hamas group.
Yeah.
And Hamas people, their justification of doing an attack is that do you know that entire Israel right now, right? So what
they want Palestine as to be the whole country or something like that.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is that previously, okay, the country is this much, and then this much is Palestine, right? This much is Israel, and then right now what is happening is that more than 80%, it's Israel. And then what Palestinian people think is that Jewish people, they want to eradicate our entire race, right?
Yeah.
And then this all
there is a few Muslims,
and I would say there's no justification for war, man. That doesn't mean whatever you're doing, okay, there's no justification for war.
But
you can do a diplomatic session and then have
they actually have a diplomatic session. They were at peace. The Israeli president, Prime Minister President, I don't remember, he came to the governance of Palestine. They had a peace treaty, but then the extremists of Israel, they assassinated their own Prime Minister President because they thought he was compromising their security. He was giving away the land.
And then,
that's why That's one of the reasons. Like, hate is a strong word. That's why I'm using it. I hate extremists.
Yeah.
Like any extremist, even if you're left or right, you shouldn't be extreme.
Yeah, I agree.
We call it Kattar. According to me, Kattar Hindu, Kattar
Katta
Muslim.
means suck the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then if you're sucked, if you're Kattar, if you're completely devoted in your own religion, and be that in way, Kattar means being true to your own religion, being pure in your own religion. That nowhere is written. I don't think it is written anywhere that you should be, it's like not, it's like eradicating the other one.
Yeah.
Because you think yours is bigger.
Yeah, and I want to add this one, right? So I'm not sure about the old people there in Israel, right? Right now, what is happening with the Instagram and all is that, so like there's a two group, right? Israel and Palestine, right? And then like all the people in this one, right? The who's using Facebook and all, right? So what they do is like they'll search everything, right? And then like advertisement or all the this one related posts, right? Everything will come according to your what you like. So for example, what happened is that I like Messi, I don't like Cristiano at all. And then what happened is that I watch Messi's this one, right? The feeds and all, right? The posts and all, right? And then what happened is that I get only those posts where the fans, only Messi fans are there. They're like trashing this one, Cristiano and all. And then I was like, no, and then I was like, it's been like almost for a year. Okay. Later, I later found that there are a lot of Cristiano fans also. For them, they only have like a Cristiano, like a Messi issue and all, right?
See, that's what the whole algorithm is there just to keep us in the loop. They are showing us what they want, what is
yeah. So this is what is happening with the people, right? So they are justifying their own reason, right? So they don't have any idea about what other people are thinking, and they don't have any other idea
because they are not ready to accept first place, and secondly, no one even else is telling there's another side of the coin also.
Yeah.
That's why they're not ready to listen. Coming to this part.
And like, can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting this one saying by Mr. Andrew Tate. So he says that if you're a rich people, okay, what happened is that for normal people, okay, I'm talking about normal people, okay. When is your weekend? Saturday, Sunday. He says that he doesn't want to be that normal person, okay. What happened is that for him, okay, he says that my normal a weekend is Monday to Tuesday. Do you know what is his reason? Right. He says that previously, okay, when he was first rich, okay, he says that this one weekend was same with the salaried people, right? So what happens is that he goes with the Lamborghini or Bugatti, this one in the street, right? And he says that I have to fucking this one stay in the traffic with the Ford, like those who are driving like a normal car. Because this is what happens, right? Everyone comes, all the he considers as a slave-minded people. Everyone everyone comes on a Saturday, Sunday, right? So what happens is that he has to, his Lamborghini has to wait in the traffic. This is what he says, man. So he just changes entire weekend, man, to Monday, Tuesday. What happens is that all this day they'll just go this one. He'll work on this one Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Everything is empty because everyone is at work, right? So he'll just drive on Lamborghini. It's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting. A bit. So, coming to the part, you said you prefer Messi more than Cristiano.
Yeah.
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, what do you believe in more, hard work or talent?
I do believe in both, and I don't want to be a diplomat. Before starting with this conversation, this entire thing, I want to just quote one a very famous quote which says that hard work beats talent and talent doesn't work hard. I repeat. Yeah. Hard work beats talent and talent doesn't work hard. So I do feel that talent might be gifted to some people, and some unfortunate people or some people who doesn't have a talent. I don't think there is any reason to be sad. So I do. If you're not talented, right, then I think the only thing you have is just your hard work. And if you are a smart people, right, if you have a talent in if you have the talent, if you're lucky enough to have the talent. Then also I think there's nothing to be brag about. I have a talent. You have to work hard. So I do I believe in hard work, right? So even if you have a talent, you don't work hard. The other people will go ahead, right? That who doesn't have a talent, but he still works hard.
So don't you think you like Messi more?
But yeah. So
but you are more inclined towards how the work ethic of Ronaldo is.
Yeah, I do very much agree with even with Virat Kohli. I think majority of the people, right, if you see, right, all the, I would say, lazy people, right? They like Messi more. And those who are like the gym goers and like who goes to gym, who like very much actively physical, this one, they like Ronaldo more.
I think it's
And
the
to some
opposite.
extent, yeah, and to some extent, and those people who are little shy or introverted, they like Messi more. And those people, so basically, what happens is that you like who you like this one. You like those people who are like you.
Yeah.
You like people those who are like you, right? And this no. And what happens is that I find like sometimes Ronaldo very arrogant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
So
why
that's
I don't
maybe
agree
one
with
of the
that.
reasons where you relate to how Messi is.
But like I don't know. Okay, so I'm like just you tell me. Okay, you just be a psychologist right now. Okay,
Okay, fine.
it's very interesting, man. I have a different philosophy that I think that working hard is more important than talent, right? If you have a talent, that doesn't mean that this one we shouldn't like that person, right? It's not like I have a talent, doesn't. So if you also have to work hard, right? I believe in this philosophy. Hard work is more important, right? And this one, right? And I also believe in that kind of this one who has a good brand.
Yeah.
Like Cristiano, he has a good brand who believes in passion and all, right? I do that. Okay, Messi is not that passionate and all, right? And there's a confusion. There is a dilemma in my mind. So there's a confusion in my mind and my heart. Okay, my heart always says Messi. My mind always says Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Right. And I somehow convince other, like everyone. Even if you go to my Instagram, right, it's more of like a Messi, Messi pictures. So I just more aligned with this one. It comes like the same one, man. Professional, you have your own professional ethics and your personal ethics. Right? My personal, it's my heart. So I go with this one, Messi.
You know why it is happening? Because people don't realize there is a difference. Why there is a difference between Messi and Ronaldo? What is the basic difference that separates them, even though both of them are at the top? If you're not, if you disregard the fact that Messi has a World Cup, FIFA World Cup, Ronaldo doesn't. If you look at how they play, they're very similar, but the difference is very slim. There's two things. First is motivation. The second is edge. What drives them and what separates them. The motivation for Ronaldo is winning. Ronaldo is more inclined.
Individual. He's like more individual.
Individual win. I want to win. I play to win. If you want, Ronaldo is more like Achilles. Achilles was the greatest warrior at that time. Why? Because he didn't care about which side he was. He just wanted to win that battle. Whereas Messi, he plays to play. He doesn't care. I mean, he obviously cares about winning.
There is no comparison. Yeah.
But he plays because he likes playing. That doesn't mean Ronaldo doesn't like playing or Messi doesn't like winning. But that's their primary motivation. Right now, if you think, I want to win, your primary motivation is more like Ronaldo than Messi. If you are learning because you're very much into learning, your primary motivation is like Messi than Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Second is edge. What separates them? At the top, when there's two people who are the greatest, the separation, the edge is very subtle. And here, the edges, Ronaldo's edge is hard work. If you see, Ronaldo's physique is compared with the greats that have existed or will never exist. Ronaldo's body, the way he jumps, the way he shoots, the power with which he shoots is the power is compared to the legends. And people will say the work ethic, the hard work that Ronaldo has, they haven't seen that in themselves or any other player before Ronaldo. And probably they won't be played like Ronaldo. Ronaldo works hard daily than any other football or athlete in the world.
Yeah.
If you see Ronaldo, you know, like this guy's worked hard for it. Because that's what his edge is, hard work. But when you see Messi, people look at it like it's magic. You've seen magical Messi. You look at Messi and you think God has made Messi to play football. That's talent.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Ronaldo is not talented or Messi is not hardworking. But that's the edge.
I think like if you are a hard worker, right? If you just put so much hard work in that one, right? And then the skill and all, right? It kind of becomes like a talent.
It does.
Yeah, and it does become a talent. And if you genuinely ask anyone, right? I've asked a lot of people, right? Not you don't know like a Cristiano Messi, like nothing. Okay, you just see the game, right?
Yeah.
I think Cristiano is more of like an individualistic, and I do agree. Even I'm like this one, individualistic, right? And I don't mean like
That's
it's
why you
bad.
don't-
Okay,
That's
I
why
know it's bad.
the motivation. He has the motivation to win.
Be the best.
That's why he has the motivation to be the best. And considering what he has done, they are both the best.
Yeah.
what
And
they do.
I think Messi is more like a playmaker.
That's
Yeah,
right.
playmaker.
Because
He runs the game actually.
he focuses on the job. He likes to play. That's what it looks like. Messi is doing magic. He was born to play football. That's why he doesn't, usually indulge in criticizing teammates or criticizing managers or any shifting teams. Why he was in Barcelona? Because he doesn't care. He just wants to play.
You know how much offer he got from this one Saudi League. Saudi League. He got an
Some
offer of
billion.
400 million. So
400
400 million for 2 years, 800, almost a billion.
Almost $1 billion.
Almost
That
billion.
is like
It's almost a billion because like he had some extra this one also, like a sponsor.
but he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Yeah,
He
he
likes
went
to
to.
play.
No, like if you see from the other angle also, right? Like a lot of experts says that he has more benefit going to this one.
Miami.
Yeah, Miami, MLS,
MLS.
major soccer league, because like he's getting appreciated.
Yeah. He's getting appreciated. But if you look at Ronaldo, he doesn't care switching teams. He doesn't care criticizing
He
teammates.
could easily fit in
Are you familiar with Hindu mythology?
mythology, like yeah, to some
Okay.
extent I do.
You know Arjun.
Arjun, yeah, Mahabharata, you know,
Mahabharata.
Krishna, the
You know,
battlefield of
yeah.
Kurukshetra.
You know Eklavya.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I don't remember the name of the
Yeah,
guru.
you just tell me the story.
Okay.
What you were telling.
Yeah, that's what. Arjun's guru, who taught him archery and all. I don't remember his name. I don't know why. I don't remember. It's a shame. I don't remember his name.
Vishwa.
No. I think Dhonachari, something.
Yeah,
something.
You're telling me.
So he refused to teach Eklavya or something, and Eklavya made his statue there, and he practiced day and night to be the best. And Arjun was naturally the best archer in the world there was at that time. So Messi is more like Arjun, whereas Ronaldo is more like Eklavya. Arjun is the greatest archer of all time. He doesn't need that hard work because he has the natural born talent. You remember when the guru asked, "What do you see?" He's like, "I see the bird's eye."
Yeah, I see
That's
that.
Arjun.
That much of focus.
That's the focus. मेरे को चिड़िया की आँख दिख रही है. That's the focus, and that's Messi. Talent. Eklavya is working hard in silence to gain that trust of his guru.
Yeah, there is
That's very little. That's very subtle difference
Yeah.
between Eklavya and Arjun. Both are considered to be the great, but one is more talent and one is more hard work. It's not like he doesn't do hard work. He has no talent. But what separates them is hard work and talent, and that's Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, I agree. And I believe that there's a quote which says that hard work in silence and let the success make noise.
Yeah.
I do very much agree with this one. Man. Yeah, so
I was doing the research about success, but that's the topic for the next podcast.
which one?
Success.
Okay,
Success and failure.
I just want to ask you about the masculinity and the femininity, like a little question like this one. Like, what do you think, man? Even today, okay, everyone believes that there has to be an equal, right? And even I do believe that has to be not equal but equality. Has to be an equality, right? So opportunity, right? And I do agree that there are some, this one. There are some works which are meant only for men, and there are some works which are only meant for the women. And there's no like a conflict of anything, right? And then today we had this one Arun sir, right?
Huh.
I didn't know that this one for a woman, okay, there is a free like a bus service, man.
There is.
And like even that one is inequality. In
That's
itself.
equal.
Yeah,
That's
like women, they are.
See,
I think the main agenda is like
people
it's like a mode of politics, if I'm not wrong. Is it?
people confuse between gender and masculinity and femininity. Masculinity and men and women, these are gender. You're a man.
Yeah.
If I was a girl, you're a man, I was a woman.
Yeah.
That's gender. But masculinity and femininity is trait. You might be more feminine than a girl. A girl might be more masculine than you are.
Do you believe in third gender?
If it is natural born, then yes.
Okay.
There is natural bond.
Yeah, and then
See, if we are speaking purely about femininity and masculinity, I think it's more of traits. It's more about how your mentality is growing up. Like I have a few friends. I have a few female friends who compete, who are more masculine than most guys I know, because they grew up in that household. They were surrounded with men, brothers, uncle, father. They want, like, because they have seen, that girl has seen how men are. So she grew more masculine, like inclined towards masculine than feminine. And I've seen guys who grew up with sisters, single mothers. They are more feminine. There's nothing wrong with either.
yeah, nothing wrong.
It's about how you grew up. You can be a man and still have masculine. You still have feminine traits, and people think it's wrong. But I think it's good to have a healthy mixture of both. You should know when to have the feminine trait in you and when to have
Have
the
you seen
masculine trait.
you know Kabir, right?
Yeah.
Kabir, yeah. He has a podcast, okay? Where he says that it's a very sarcastic way, and he says that if you go to America, right, there's like a few hundreds of genders, man.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a whole list. There's like
LGBTQ plus, like a lot of things, right?
Now
I
it
don't
is
know, man.
LGBTQIA plus.
Yeah.
Plus is like there is more. See, I tend to more incline
That's
towards
why-
biological genders.
Yeah.
See, if you identify this person, I totally respect your opinion. I totally respect your decision. Please don't shove it down my throat. I respect your opinion. Leave it there. That's it.
Yeah, that's why, do you know, Andrew Tate, right? He converted himself into Muslim. Do you know that? Because of maybe this reason. Like, what happens within Arab, right? Especially Arab people, is that there is still a prevalent of a very traditional approaches, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Conservative.
kind of thing. Yeah, conservative. And I do agree. Even I do like that kind of this one, like a little traditional approaches.
Yeah, but
What I think is that Saudi Arabia is a Middle East, right? They're like too much of that one, right? You have to wear some burqa and all, right? But even the West, right? I think they're very extreme of the left, right
see,
side.
that's
But
what.
there has to be a mixture of both. Like,
There should be mixture. There should be a.
and I do think India is that kind of a mixture, man. We don't have a lot of the third gender, right? In India, and I think as far as I know, like Indian people are very very much tradition, and
They're
not to that
tradition.
extent like this one.
Not too much,
Middle East.
but not too less.
Yeah, and even they're not like a very right, like a free, liberal kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Everyone has to be equal, like a United States of America. And I think India is a very mixture, like a proper mixture.
If you become too liberal, then it's a problem. If you
Yeah.
become too conservatism, that's a problem. There should be a mix. That's why I'm more center oriented. If you're talking about politics, there is left and right. People don't know there is center also.
Yeah.
I like to believe, like, if I think it is right, it's right. If I think it is wrong, it's wrong. That's it.
And like there is I've heard an interesting story, okay. I have a lot of story, this is very interesting story, okay, where there is a one girl, like one woman and one male, okay, male and a female.
Yeah.
So they both are couple, right? So what happens when that male, right? That male, he did some like this one. He just he had like his own girlfriend. Okay, he
Yeah.
just went out and had some. He slept with that other girl. Okay.
Affair.
Yeah, like had an affair, right? So infidelity, right? So he went there, he slept with that girl, and then he came back. Okay, that female, right? She caught them, and then guess what? Like what she, what did she ask to him?
Like, why did you do this?
No, do you love her?
Okay, fine.
Do you love her? And the husband is, no, I don't like her. Like, I don't love her.
I don't love her. Yeah.
And at the same moment, okay, she did some infidelity and she went had an affair with the other guy, okay.
Yeah.
And then guess what that husband asked?
Do you love him?
No, did he fuck you? That is the interesting man. Did he fuck you? Not do you love her? And what happens with it? This is something stuck in your head, man. Just imagine, okay, what is the mentality is that if a female slept with
It's
other
more
guy,
emotional.
okay, yeah.
And the male is more physical.
Yeah, so do you love her? Right? I don't love her, I just fucked her, right? It's fine. Just came back. Do you love her? Did he fuck you? No. He didn't ask. Do you love?
There is.
Did he fuck you, man? It's crazy, man.
Okay.
You got it, right?
Like, it is more emotional. See, I think it is like both of them are important, but I think the importance of having an emotional intimacy is more than physical.
And I find this story really interesting, man.
It is actually. It is very interesting.
Yeah, did he fuck you or do you love her? Like,
That,
do you?
that shows a lot of things. Like how even as men, we tend to be inclined towards physical desires more than emotional desires or emotional needs, and women, like a lot of my friends who are couples,
I think
they started as friends.
Yeah.
And for women, it is very important to have that emotional intimacy more than whatever physical it is. Even though both of them equally desire it, but for men, prioritizing physical over emotional is more than women. Women tend to prioritize emotional over physical. And I think that is very interesting.
it's really right.
That's
And I think it's a natural the natural
That's
instinct
biological.
it's a natural instinct of a human to be physical desire. Like everyone has their own physical
Everyone has.
desire or this one, and there's nothing wrong in it. So, what about your girlfriend now?
Nothing has changed in 1 month.
Okay.
Your question, same answer.
Okay.
There is no one. See, if there was one, I would publicly come up and openly say it.
Yeah. But I think it's good, right? So you are smart. You are smart in a sense, in my definition, you know what is smart, right? You're
Yeah.
just sacrificing the short-term pleasure for a long-term, this one pleasure. And I think, it's good.
Yeah.
Is it time, man?
I think I have to leave now.
You said that you could stretch till 4, man.
Yeah, I could, but then I got to know that I have to be there. I'm going to MG Road, right?
Why? Like, why do you have so much of activity? Like, last time you went to airport.
I went to airport to get my parents.
No, then, like, what do you have today, man? MG Mart, what?
I'm having dinner
With?
with Vishwath because he's leaving
Okay,
for
tomorrow.
interview. He's leaving
Like,
tomorrow.
what time?
We have it at 6.
6?
Because I have curfew time. I live with parents, so I have curfew time. I have to get home by 8 or 8:30, 9 max.
Let's stretch it to till 50. Is it fine? 50.
Okay, fine.
50, right?
Fine. So,
We have just wait. We have 10, 20 minutes exactly.
the reason why I haven't yet been in a relationship, because I think maybe I'm striving for perfection for myself.
Okay, so you want to first build yourself and then strive for the.
I want to be that perfect guy for some reason. I want to be the perfect of everything, because since
Like, what do you mean by everything? Like sports, even sports.
not sports, everything that is useful. Everything
So you think
people expect
sports
of
is
me.
not useful?
Not like, if you put it that way, as a hobby, it is useful. As interest, it is useful. If I had to start a conversation with someone about football, cricket, or F1,
Yeah,
That
follow
might be
all
useful.
F1.
The knowledge is
Even I do
useful.
that, man. F1.
but then in day-to-day usefulness, as major usefulness, it's not.
Yeah.
For me, it is not. But the thing is, since childhood, I had this. I grew up in that way that people expected things of me, and then I had to live up to it.
That typical Sharma ji ka beta.
Maybe, who knows? But no, not comparison to others.
Okay.
Things which is expected of me, and I had to live up to those expectations, like being mature from the get-go. So that perfectionism is stuck with me since my childhood. Like, I set a standard, it has to be better or as per that standard, or else I'm not accepting it. Like even today,
Like what I believe is that I'm scared actually of relationship, right? Because like I don't want to get distracted in my way, right? So my
It
way is
might
this
be-
one, right? And I don't want to get distracted, right? So that's why I have a policy that I don't want any relationship, right? But I don't mind friends with a benefit is what I would say.
see, the thing with friends with benefits is some or the other. I think one of the parties.
No, it's like with a mutual consent.
Yeah, but either of the party has a chance of catching feelings, and 9 times out of 10, it happens.
Because like what happens if you are in a relationship is that so depending upon that girl, right?
Yeah.
If you're like if you're just having a conversation with other girl and your intention is not that one, but still she might expect something else. Like so, you have that constraint like this one. You can't talk with a lot of girls. Also, you can't do this. You can't do that. And
Not
you-
necessarily.
Like this is what generally
I'll give you an
happens,
example, okay?
Jealousy,
It might not be. It's all about communication. I'll give you the best example. In our college, in our class, Ridya,
Yeah.
Ridya and Anand, I think they're probably one of my closest friends who I consider, even they consider me as close friends. Their relationship is probably one of the most healthiest relationships I've ever seen. The affection they have for each other, I can see in their eyes. But then that jealousy part, it's close to zero. Jealousy always will be there, but it is very close to zero. Ridya will be sitting,
Where is this that one other one? Like what is that guy?
Anand,
Anand. He's
DDF
from,
India.
no, he's from like which place? Same
Kerala.
Kerala. Okay.
He's from Dubai, I think, Dubai Sharjah. Anand will be talking to girls, she will be talking to boys, but they have that trust for each other, they have that communication, they have that affection for each other that is everlasting. I can see it in their eyes. Whenever I see Anand looking at Ridya, I can see that his eyes, even if that is a totally wrong statement, I can see his eyes changing, that eyes sparkling every time he looks at her. It's all about who you are with and the affection you have with.
The trust.
The trust, the affection, the communication. That's all it is. Trust is built on love, communication, respect, understanding.
And I think communication is also very important.
See,
because
if you have
won't be
that-
able to understand others if they don't communicate with you. Right?
Maybe you have the doubt because you think you might be that guy.
Yeah.
It might be that you don't trust yourself. If you have the doubt,
That one that I'll get distracted or like which one?
If you're in a relationship, you go to talk to some other girl. If you think that your significant other,
Like I don't really like that because right now I do feel that I'm focused, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't want to have that mental pressure of you have to this one you have to spend time with him or her at all, obviously her, and then I have to do this, I have to do that. I really don't like that kind of a pressure. So that's why I said no. Friends with the benefit is that you don't have to think at all, right? You're a friend in a class, okay, do something, just went out, spend some time, come back. Yeah, this is what I think.
there is something I'll tell you that might change your perspective about it. It's not about. It's not always about the love and the affection of the relationship. Right now, even until if you had spoken to me about this last year, I would have 100% agreed with you because I was just on my thing. But right now, last year I had this no dating policy, but then right now I'm open to dating because
You will learn a lot of things.
there is a lot of things you learn. The first major thing you learn is how to build a relationship like this from scratch. Right now, there is a few types of relationships. I told this to you in last podcast also. There is parental relationship, there is normal friendships, there is significant other relationship. You won't know how to build those kind of relationships until you get into one. And learning that is also equally important. Communication in those kind of relationships is completely different from communication with parents or with normal friends. Jealousy, communication, trust, everything, the things you learn from that person that you thought, okay, this is the right way, but then they showed you there is another way which is better than the way you are in right now. You wouldn't know unless you're with them. And building.
Do you believe in work-life balance? You don't believe. What do you
I don't.
believe? So you don't believe that there should be a work-life balance, or there should be only work?
Right now,
What do you think?
Right now, I don't think there should be balance. See, I'm all in for consistency and discipline. But then the balance, the perfect balance, it won't exist. You have to compromise either this way or that way. There has to be some compromise during life or some compromise on
No,
work.
yeah, I think it depends on your ambition, right? Ambition in a sense, what do you want to achieve later?
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't require that much of this one, then obviously you can have a good conversation with other people, have a social life.
It's about what you prioritize more.
Yeah.
If you prioritize, if I'm right now, okay, I'll complete this work somehow. That is my priority right now. I don't care about my life other than work. But If I'm more into, okay, I've been working way too much. I want my social life. I'll call my friends and hang out with them. That is my life. See, I don't believe in like time management is important, but you should know when to I told this to my mentees also, the juniors, during our session, that they were having problem managing time. So I gave them the simplest possible solution to it. Categorize. First step is categorize. Whatever you think is important to you, jot it down. For you, what are the 5 things that are important that comes to your mind right now?
Me?
Yeah.
You're asking me, yeah?
What is it? 5 things.
This one, fitness,
Yeah.
that is more of a gym,
Okay.
knowledge,
Okay.
and fashion,
Okay.
and career,
Okay.
and my relationships, family relationships.
5 things.
Yeah.
If you take fashion and your physical health under
Fitness.
your thing, like you just Tenzin, your relationship with yourself. You can categorize that under the subheading that. So you are prioritizing yourself. You are one category. Make that one. Then comes your friends. Then family. Then studies. Then the thing you have to do. Then the thing you're passionate about. 5 or 6 things. Prioritize it. And priorities change according to the situation. Right now, if you're in a college, you have zero earning. You prioritizing fashion doesn't make sense. You prioritizing your learning about what you're passionate about makes more sense. Now, if
But that comes but there's no consistency. What happened is that right now, if I sacrifice the fashion, right?
Yeah.
As you said, you don't have the money. If you have fashion, this one, right? And how do you develop your personality?
I'm not saying.
How do you develop your personality is based on your a daily things over a period of a time. Right?
Yeah.
If I sacrifice my this one fashion right now, right? Then
I'm
the
not saying-
people they have a different image me, in their head that Tenzin, yeah, he was a kind of that kind of a
I'm not saying to sacrifice it.
Okay.
I'm saying to prioritize something else. If you put fashion in the second and you're learning first, you're still focusing on fashion, but you're more focusing on learning. It's about what you do more than what you do less.
I agree.
See, that's that. So once you get done categorizing it, prioritize. Right now, if you think, okay, me spending time with my friends is more important to me than studies for this moment, go have fun with your friends. That's where time management comes. If you're building a timetable, well and good. There's one thing, build a timetable, stick to it. But then this is another thing on how to have a supposed work-life balance. That prioritize life more than work. If you prioritize work more than life, depending on situations, and depending on what is more demanding at the moment. If you think your work is more demanding right now out of your time, then focus on work. But if you think life is more demanding, if you think you have to go to this trip, this time is never going to come back, you're choosing life. There is no equal balance.
Yeah, I do agree.
There is always tip over.
Yeah, I do agree that this one, there's no perfect balance as such. But I just wanted to ask this question, right? So my just basic question was do you believe in work-life balance? Not necessarily it has to be equal, 50-50, right? Even a 40 to 60 is kind of an equal, 40 to 60. Because there are some people, okay, are you willing to sacrifice your social life for if you want to become investment banker or that kind of a bankers, right? You have to work for almost 120 hours a week, man. It is almost 11 to 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
So are you willing to sacrifice this kind of thing?
Yeah.
So
If
you
I have
are
that ambition.
Huh?
If I have that ambition,
and do you have that ambition?
as of right now, maybe no.
Maybe no.
Yeah.
And why is that?
If you had asked me last year or a few years back what you want to do in life, I would have just been CA and done. That's the end of the conversation. But right now, I have no idea. CA is maybe a milestone. It is like a door that opens many more doors.
You're still figuring out.
I'm still figuring out.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
The more I get into my 20s, the more I'm still figuring out.
So do you have any questions or should I ask you some questions, man?
Yeah, go ahead, ask.
No, it's not a questions also. So we have almost a 10, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, don't worry about time. Go on.
Yeah, so I just wanted to even I had with this in a way. Okay, I'll just randomly tell some name of our class students, right? Just tell me what do you like about him, and if you still want to be there, like this one, dare enough to tell him about the limitations or what he you don't like about him, you go ahead. Okay. So roll number one. Yeah, Abhay.
Abhay.
Yeah, really like. Just fast. It's a rapid fire, man. Because you're
Okay.
2-3 words.
No. See, I can't do rapid fire. I think and then I speak.
Yeah, like a little faster because we don't have a time. We have a time.
Don't worry about it. Abhay, if I have to say things that I appreciate about him, firstly, his intelligence.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent, especially if you have to see studies. He's very intelligent. Conceptual knowledge that he has, he's very intelligent regarding that. He doesn't care about the world.
Yeah.
He will go on and do his thing. If he wants to do it, he'll do it. That's it. He doesn't care about the world.
Okay.
That sense. But if he has to speak his own thoughts, that's the negative thing. Is I think he has maybe stage fright, maybe shy, maybe some things that he will say might affect the world. That's what he thinks. That's the negative thing about him. So one positive, one negative.
Okay, so I don't know who is roll number 2, just randomly. Okay. Abhay and Sagar.
Sagar.
Yeah. We don't have. If you can also say I decline to answer. It's fine.
No. See, that's the thing. If you put me in the spot like this and ask about people, I'll go into deep analysis. I can't off the rack. I don't
like
think.
about him. Just
I like how polite he is.
polite.
He's very polite, to a certain degree. After some time, if I go up to him and shake his hand, I'm like, fuck you. He'll be like, yeah, fuck you too. Asmita, how I can just start randomly talking about some random subject and she'll just join in. I get her humor and she gets my humor.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about her. And that's about Asmita. See, I just tell one thing, that's it.
Yeah.
Simrita, equality. She believes a lot in equality. Fair. She's very fair.
And then there is Harshit.
Harshit. His comic timing. I love his comic timing. I seriously, whatever he says, there is proper comic timing. And the tone he says is absolute brilliance.
And then
Gaurav. The way he doesn't hesitate on speaking. He doesn't care. He'll go up. He'll point his finger upwards.
He does. He does it a lot, man. He is scared of a talk. This is what he told me. He told me how to do this one, how to do this one. But still, yeah, he has that. I think what I like about him is he has that passion or curiosity.
He has curiosity. Sometimes whenever he's free to open up his mind, he'll go on the stage. He'll be like, I want to speak this. This is my opinion. That's it. I really like. Also the way he dresses. Dresses.
Okay.
That's about Gaurav.
And then Saurav.
Fun. If you want to have fun, go with Saurav. He's very fun, dude. We had a house party last year in November. We enjoyed it, dude. In his flat. He's maybe a new flat.
He's very carefree, man.
He's very carefree. He is very fun, dude. I love about him.
And Dikshant. Little bit of stock market. When I hear Dikshant, we can
it reminds me of stock market.
Stock market.
So one thing I would suggest on improving is, even I have to improve majorly, but one thing I would suggest on improving is, I'll definitely tell him. He might have heard this about a million times, but then when he speaks, he uses that expression a lot. Arey, hum tumko bata rahe na, arey, this, that, and all. That's the thing. He's very knowledgeable. He's very underestimated. I personally think he's very underestimated.
And yeah, he reads the newspaper.
He reads a lot. I went to his flat once. He has eyes on some of the other words.
And Nityashri.
Nitishri. Well, actually, to be honest, um, I don't know how many times it takes me, but I still apologize to her. During first semester, when we got the first CI of maths, even though I was completely wrong, she knows how to be calm in difficult situations.
What happened?
Yeah, we had this CI of maths where we had to teach about, we had to make a presentation about central tendency, measures of central tendency. And I was in a bad mood and I let it affect me. I started yelling at her. And later on I realized I was the wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times it takes, but Nitishi, if you're watching this, I will apologize to you as much as I still hold that guilt from first year.
Sorry, Nitishri. Hashtag sorry, Nitishri.
I'm seriously sorry, Nitishri. Even though she was at the right, she calmly, collectively, she never lost it. She never lost that tone. Her tone was always the same. She was trying to make me understand, even though I was clouded by my emotions, I was clouded by my mood, anger, maybe. I actually yelled at her on call. My mom was like, "Who are you yelling at?" I'm like, "Mom, please." To my classmate, we were working on a project. So she's very calm. She's very collected. She is not scared of putting out her opinion, even though she doesn't talk much. And she's not tense and she's calm in stress situations. It's like she's the cool water where you can fish on.
Yeah, so it's like this one. Okay, what happens is that she's like an ocean.
She's like a calm ocean.
Yeah, calm ocean.
She knows that fact you can't fish in disturbed waters.
River makes a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Right?
He is very calm.
Okay, and then what about Sonal?
Sonal. I would say how
The
she
ability
speaks.
to memorize.
Memorization,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Memorize.
Memorize studies. I don't know her. I seriously don't know her as a person outside studies. I haven't talked to her that much. That I came to this realization recently that I haven't spoken to a lot of people. I haven't spoken really that much to Anju, Justin, Sonia, Aditya, the girl Aditya.
Who's the girl Aditya?
There is
Aditya.
number 59.
Okay, yeah, that one. Okay.
Deepika, Sonal, Nitishri, Monisha, Rakshita, Kishore. I haven't spoken to these people a lot.
So, what is your opinion on now? I'm just doing randomly. Padmajit.
Padmajit, Joyce, he's like a little kid who never lost his innocence. I love
he's
his
very
work.
innocent. And
He
like I don't know. Okay, what happened is that
he's very underrated. Underrated would be a word I use.
yeah, and I think he's good in economics is what I think he's passionate in economics.
He gives 100% whatever he does, and he doesn't care about if he's involved or not. He doesn't have FOMO. That's one
And
of
then
the
what
few
happens is
things.
that some people, right? You know that sports, right? It's
Right.
that kind of this one activity where your true emotion comes out, right? So like when you're feeling under pressure, right?
Huh.
And I think he has that quality of like this one, never giving up, man. He's
He
like
doesn't.
in football, right? Oh, he scores and all, man.
He
He
is
has
a
that
brilliant
response.
striker, and even in sports, he's like one of the people who's very good at football in our department. And then that's what he's like. He's like a kite in the sky who's flying carefree.
And my next is Akash.
Akash, I would say dreamy eyes.
Okay.
If you look at his eyes, you can't lie to him looking him in the eyes. I'm telling you. He just can't. His eyes, I know it's not a trait, it's what he was born with. But then the politeness he has, the mannerism he has, his eyes, you can't look him in the eye and say something wrong. You
Okay.
speak of the truth.
Then what about Samrida?
Samruddha.
Yeah.
She doesn't stop talking.
Stop talking.
She is very talkative.
Talkative.
She's one of the most talkative people in class. But at the same time, her talkative trait also compensates for her how much she listens. And she's very tolerant. And that might be a disadvantage. There might be people taking advantage of her. She knows and that factor, she knows that some people are taking advantage of her, but she won't do anything about it. And she's fair.
She's fair.
Yeah.
I agree. And we should. I think you're the closest friend, right?
In class.
In class.
He's like, it's like I'm looking at what I would be and what I was at the same time.
I mean,
It's like
yeah,
it's a very philosophical statement, but I look at him as a younger brother who's at times teaching me stuff, because I don't believe like age is one thing that you should base
Yeah.
things on. I constantly learn things from him. He's like he's a family man.
it's family.
He's a family man, I would say. If he has a community, he would do anything for them.
Okay.
Like
He's more of like a family person.
he's
Isn't
very traditional. He's true to his
Traditional.
people.
traditional in like
Like
not eating after 7 or something like that.
No, not traditional as in, you know, sticking to his roots.
Okay.
He's that kind of guy. He's somewhat like what I have already done in life. He's doing that, and what I want to do in life, he's doing
Also,
that.
some part of it.
Yeah.
He has already.
There was a time where I used to compare with him very hard, but then I realized there's nothing that happens from comparison. So, but he's one of the closest. He's probably one of the closest friends I have.
Yeah, in our
Yeah.
college, right? And then what about his relation?
His relationship,
It's good, right?
it is they.
I don't know, like what is that name?
Nancy.
Nancy. And so she's from economics.
No, BC.
Oh, okay, computer.
Science, computer application.
I think they have a really good relation. They look good together also.
They are like. Mm,
Brother and sister.
no.
Okay. Because I've seen like the kid that caring, this one.
Yeah, they are the. Like I would say this for a lot of people. I would say this especially for Manan's relationship. Their relationship is like she is one piece of puzzle and he is one part of puzzle, and they both fit perfectly with each other to show the whole picture,
Okay.
which is very beautiful.
And then why did you mention Manan's name now?
He is one of the people that I would, if I get to live, if I get to have his brain instead of mine, he's one of the few people who I would swap my brains with. Like the knowledge he has, the grasping ability, the capabilities he has,
I think
and the fact that he doesn't even talk about it, boast about it. I think it's very.
even I don't know him. I have not had like a long conversation with him.
I'm telling you, we should call him once here, because there's things that once he tries to open up, there's a lot of things you discover about him.
Yeah, this is the main reason. Like, this is what happens in our class. Okay, there are hardly like a few people who talks a lot, right? So that's why like those who keeps quiet, right? We don't know, like we don't understand how they feel, right? And then like it's like an eye opening in our first semester. They were like everyone is scoring really good marks, right? We didn't know that like this kind of thing.
There is a ability that I learned from him. The ability to speak, when to speak and when to not speak. Sometimes there is okay, fine, sit there, listen. Sometimes if they ask you, like, if I have to describe him in a sentence, he's not a people person. But if you need his help, call him and he'll be there. He's that kind of person.
And then what about Raghav? Not Raghav.
Raghav, he's like a father figure.
Oh shit!
Actual father figure. He's like my
Responsibility now.
responsibility, like proper family person. If I have to describe him, family person. He builds a community and looks after them. He's like a father figure to all of us. Whoever knows him, he's like a proper father figure. If I have to choose like a father figure, except for my dad, I would choose him, and I have told this to him.
Yeah.
We don't talk a lot. But he's everything he does. He's very evident on his face.
And like,
He's very caring. if you need a hug, then he's the guy.
Yeah,
He would
because
sit there and listen for hours.
I think they have their group, right? Manan, Alok, Shashank. Even I think you are there.
Yeah.
So like like my main this one, like I'm not able to connect with our this one. The class, even I don't like it. I don't like it in a sense like you don't see me Abhay, right? So like staying in a college after class. Have you seen me? No, right? So yeah, that kind of like it's like a very disconnected with the entire college students, man. Like to some extent, even our this one classmates also. We do talk, but like we don't talk that much, right? After class,
See,
everyone
it's
goes
like,
back to
it's their own business. See, there is positive aspects and negative
So that's why
aspects.
like Sembisa calls me selfish because like I don't care, man. I don't know that like they had a kabaddi fight or something.
Kabaddi fight.
Even you didn't know, right? Like last time there was a competition, like kabaddi competition.
Yeah, recently they had.
Yeah, so they had like a South Indian versus North Indian. They had like a crazy gang fight or something.
Is it?
Yeah, even I didn't know.
Even I didn't know.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, it's fine.
So yeah, and then who else, man? Who is left, man?
What about you?
Last man. Okay, I think it's done, right? Almost everyone.
There is a lot of people. There's CP also.
Oh yeah, this one. Yes, CPA.
Yash. All else is, that fact about I told you about, being in different domains. You talk to him about astrophysics, he'll have something to talk about. You talk to him about psychology, he'll have something to talk about. You talk to him about literature, he'll have something to talk about. He is the abundance of knowledge. According to me, whatever I have been there with him, he has something to say about every particular subject.
Yeah.
If I would have a competition with someone, I would have a competition with Yash. He's one of my closest friends. But I would.
You know that we had a conversation, like a podcast, right?
Oh.
Like first I had a conversation podcast with Abhay, Sagar, this one, Karthik, Yash. I was the moderator. In their this one, Zolo. No, not Zolo.
Jindal.
No, not Jindal, like this one. Karthik's place, man.
Jindal.
It's not the first semester. He was.
HMT layout. Wow.
It was very far, man.
Mhm.
Like, what is that PG? Like, it's very famous, man.
Zolo, that time.
No, not Zulu. What famous PG? Just name some. Even I went there. It's Ramai. It's near like it's very far, right? So like he was very far.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we had a conversation there, man. Like the first proper like a podcast. I was the moderator. I was asking, how are you this one day? What are you? We were talking about Ukraine,
Yes.
Russia crisis and all, geopolitics.
Yash, he is a brilliant guy to talk about anything.
Okay.
He will always have something to disagree about, something to agree about. And if he agrees with you, he'll add on more points that you didn't even know that exists.
Yeah.
And if he disagrees with you, he'll have strong points.
Yeah. And then Karthik.
Karthik, I would say,
I think he's good in this one. He's a science student, so he's good in like that one, like computer now.
he's a good capitalist.
Yeah, please.
He's a very good capitalist. He's a very good opportunist. That's what I would say.
And Tarun,
Tarun,
great carefree,
um,
very open.
he's very open, but there are some things that he doesn't let people in. I think there are some things that he won't talk about it, but everyone has.
Disha,
Disha,
I think even she doesn't talk a lot in her class,
no.
so we don't have any opinion. And Khushi, her classmates.
You know, Khushi.
Even I didn't talk to her, her at all.
Yeah.
Even you didn't, right? Then about me,
About you. I'll say you're not a sheep. You're happy being the outcast. I think you don't like following the crowd, is it?
yeah, snob effect.
It's like snob effect.
Yeah.
It's like you don't, to an extent, care about other people's opinion. Say, yeah, you may be selfish. You think I'm selfish, but I am for my own reasons. And it is very hard to change your what. It's like if you have a view about something,
Yeah.
It is very hard to change it. I think that.
Yeah,
Is it?
the perception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is very hard
Like
to change it.
for me, no, I don't think so. Like I do listen to him, okay, but I don't follow it. That's the main thing.
No. I think.
Yeah.
Like it is very. If you stick to something, you are very rigid, not flexible.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah.
So that's that.
Okay. And any criticism, like feedback?
Feedback. All I say is try to have a social life more.
Okay, I'll just tell you.
What about me?
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah.
I find you a very calm person. I'm not sure, like, if you are like
No,
you
no,
look
crit-
calm. You look calm.
Criticism.
Criticism.
Yeah, I usually tend to take criticism over.
Okay, so like I'll just mix it both, right? So I think you have the calmness, right? And then what happened with some people is that, and I'm not sure whether you know how to respond. So basically, what happened is that for you to be calm, okay, you need to feel something, right? Something calm inside you, and then you need like a proper time for meditations or like a self-help, like a self-talk, right? And I do think that sometimes you're not able to keep that calmness, and sometimes you do initially in our class, right? I find you very calm, and then later, all of a sudden you just change your this one entire like how do you say, man, the character, like you just keep shouting and all, right? And I do agree, everyone and everything has a reason. So this is what I would say: you are calm, and what I would say is that. You speak quite slow, not very slow, but quite slow. And this is what is happening with me. Okay, I told you I've learned everything from YouTube, right? And it's not just YouTube. Okay, it's like YouTube 1.5x, 1.5, even plus 2x. So I don't have that patience of like just waiting this one.
I know
And,
that thing comes out from my dad. We get very.
And then like
we
what
take
happened?
our time to speak.
No. And then what about like a good part is that. Like if you talk slowly, okay, you kind of seem like a more mature. And if you want so it depends on you, right? If you want to portray yourself as a being mature, right, then you talk calmly with a voice a little loudly. And then if you want to talk as someone like who's young and who's like full of energy, then you talk like yeah man, let's do it.
That's contrasting between us.
Yeah, so I would say like you look very mature, and I'm not sure if you are mature or not because I've not had like with you, we didn't have that much of a interaction, right?
No,
Apart from like a really that professional, right? So yeah, I do agree that this one, and then I think you are also kind of a person who's always striving for excellence and always trying to improve yourself, and that is what I appreciate about you. And you need more of feedback, right? And I would like not hesitate to give it to you. And I think I gave you one feedback, right? It's about like this is what I've observed, right? I like observing in class, and what I've observed is that if you want to study something, you take a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly.
You take more.
I take like I want to sit like this.
Even I can figure it out. Okay, you're in your home. Okay, you'll go back. Even like last time I was doing the same thing. Okay, you'll go back. If you gym, even in gym, okay, you'll take a lot of time just first choosing the music and then doing how to do it. Taking rest, and then you'll go back, taking shower. And I've heard that like you care a lot about your hair. Okay, he'll be doing something with hair, like oiling and all. You take a lot of time. Taking this one shower, it'll take a lot of time because as far as I know, like you like taking shower, right? For me, shower is like a therapy. Yeah, even this one, right? So and then you go back. By the time you study, you feel like eating something and then go something and then and then you go for water. Then dinner happens. Dinner time. This is what happens. Right?
It is very true. It is like 100% accurate.
So yeah, this is what I think, and I think you should like try to learn that kind of a thing, like this one abruptly studying. Right? So basically, if someone says study, fine, give me a book, I'll study that. Right. So this is what happens. Like if you just try to create your own change the environment, right? Then I think you waste a lot of time. So basically, it doesn't matter how your this one environment is. Like study means like just study, man. It doesn't matter. I think you give too much importance on your environment.
Yeah, I do.
It has to be clean. Desk has to be clean. The watch has to be like a proper display so that I can watch like this one. And then I need like one pencil so that I can mark it properly. I want scale because so that I can just and then I want some notes. Yeah, this is I think you all this one. Right?
I'm trying to change it.
Even I do have that some kind of thing, right? So because I like the theory.
I recently discovered that I have.
It take a lot of time.
No. That's not. And then my temperament. I used to be a lot more calmer. I used to have a big temper, but it grew shorter. I tend to become short tempered.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to change it more now. I'm trying to understand the other party's perception of why they're doing and what they're doing.
Yeah, I think you have a good vocab also to some
I
extent.
do.
Yeah, you do, right? Even like I think it's like a
I
biological war. This one weapon these days. If you have
Yeah.
a good vocab, right? Especially if you want to, like as you
Yes.
said, you wanted to convince other people, negotiate, argument,
If you-
debate, all of these things. Like if you don't have like the proper, like if you want to go for a war, okay, what you need is like a proper missile and all. Okay, it doesn't matter how many men you have. If you have like a lot of missiles, like, they will get scared of you. They won't come on you, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you need like all of these things, big vocabulary, just to
See,
scare
sometimes
them
it is
out.
necessary, but sometimes it is also very.
Yeah, people.
It is a demerit.
So basically, you have to understand when to use it, right? If you use it in a common people, if you're like trying to explain something and you're using some like a difficult word, then obviously it's like
It's not good. They think after a while they think, okay, this guy is just arrogant.
yeah.
But
To some extent, Shashi Turu,
Yeah,
people
maybe.
feel like he's very arrogant.
yeah, but it's just his normal vocab. He doesn't know how to talk otherwise. He doesn't know how to talk beyond that. But I think even I was reading this book at the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. He said you should be able to explain it
To a 5 years old. If you're not able to explain it to a 5 years old, that means you didn't understand.
Yeah, exactly. The fundamentals, the basics.
Do you know he's like a main this one? He got famous because of his tweet. That famous tweet is how to get lucky without getting lucky.
Yeah,
Or how to get rich without getting lucky.
His book is absolute brilliance.
And it's not written by him, right?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's what.
Calculations of a tweet.
It's like he's a modern day it's like
Philosopher.
meditation by Marcus Aurelius. It's his personal journal.
Yeah.
Someone else wrote it out, and then
And
published it.
he's like, I know a lot of this one. I've tweeted a lot of in Twitter, okay? Like majority of my tweets are from him only. He says that if you want to, right now the world, right? It's like a full of competition. A lot of people, lot of competition. And then the question comes, how to escape this competition, right? And he says that you have to escape the competition through authenticity. Just be you, right? That means you're able to, just outstanding each other, and then you'll be able to compete. And then he also says that you have to build a long-term, you have to gather a long-term people to, like, basically he says that you have long-term people for a long-term game, long-term people for a long-term game or something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. He has like a lot of things to say, man. Very interesting, man.
There is this book. Try to read it. It might not be that interesting, or might be.
Yeah.
How to read numbers. It's like the daily statistics we have. What is the actual meaning behind all that? It is a very interesting book. I'm not a maths guy, but I would read that book.
Okay, so do you have any questions?
I would love to do that the same round which you did, but then it's short of time.
What?
The rapid fire round.
Rapid fire. You can do it. I can just do it.
Oh, it's fine. Started by your roommate.
Away. He's smart. He's good at maths, and he does what he doesn't like. He doesn't do what he doesn't like, and his comfort zone is like just watching the background.
Oh, yeah, yes,
Anyway.
he usually stays in the comfort.
Yeah, this is his comfort zone. This is what I
Yeah.
call him the comfort zone. Just watch. He'll like this one. One lot. He watches a lot of anime.
Asmita.
Asmita, I think she's good in English, and she has a good.
She's very good in English.
Good at English, and like the way she speaks, right? Her points are very articulated, and that is what I would say. And she's a great entry.
Samantha.
Simrita, I think the feedback I would, the constructive criticism I would give is she's too emotional. Right? This is what I would say. And she's great, friend to have, and I think she's good in terms of talking like a psychology or something like that, something related to gender equality.
She would listen to you for hours.
Yeah. And she's not afraid to say that I don't know.
Yeah.
That is a
That is very
rare
like,
skill to have. Man.
Like it is. She doesn't fear embarrassing herself.
Yeah, she just goes and like tells everyone like, can you please teach me this one? And I think it's good. Man. She's good.
Yeah.
Next.
Samrita.
Samrita. Okay, Samrita. I think even she's like motivated by that one. Like she's almost like us, man, and that's very rare to see in a woman. Okay, they are in their own domain. Women more like gender equality and all, right? But she's like that kind of a thing, person that no, even I want to compete with a man. She's that kind of a like.
Yeah.
I don't know that much, but like this is what I this one figure out like till like the last 3-4
She
months.
debates very good.
Not seeing that part of her, yeah. So yeah, she's like even I wanted to compete with this, and I think she has a good this one. She's a very workaholic.
Yeah,
That's what I would
that's
say.
it.
and she takes a lot of responsibility also. That is what I would say.
What about Sagar?
Sagar, I think even he's like one of the person in our class who's very underestimated, and I would say he's good. His main focus or his area of expertise is it's more of like a finance, current news. Just ask him any news, okay? What is happening and the controversials and all, right? He knows everything, right? So he has his own opinion. So that is what
He's
I
always
like.
updated.
This is what I like about him.
Rejo.
Rejo. I've not known him that, and I don't know him that well because we didn't have a good conversation, a long form conversation. But what I would say is that he's carefree, and right now he's just focusing on his. I think he doesn't, he lacks long term planning. He just have a short term, goal like most of us, and that is to pass the C. And I don't think he has any idea what he want to do after this one. So I would say he's like a carefree, like a sort of part, but like also into some studies. Yeah, that is what I would say.
What about Alok?
Alok he has its own this one. Everyone has a talent, different talent, not necessarily study. And I think he is good in music. That is like he likes singing. Even I don't know how to evaluate the music and how good his voice is. And considering the fact that I've like heard this one, listen to his music, and yeah, he has a good this one. What do I say? Voice. He has a good voice, and I do think that. I really don't know about him actually. He has a good voice, and I think he's very calm.
Yeah.
He's very calm,
He's very calm.
and I think he's very supportive also. That is what I would say. Yeah.
What about what's his name? Hemant.
Hemant is also very much underrated. I would say the most underrated person in our class. Who is exactly
I would call him stoic.
stoic.
He has the most stoic eyes I've ever
Yeah, and I think he has his own theory, and I do agree. And
we should call him someday.
yeah, obviously. No. My initial plan was to have him and like this one, Adit, like the other guy, his friend.
Yeah.
So they told me that like they have to study for inter. So that's why
After inter, they're calling people.
Yeah, so I would say he's very underestimated person in our class, and he's very smart, and he has his own theory, and I appreciate what he says, and he's that kind of a person who says what he means, and he means what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I would say.
Last, I would say.
Sahil, I think he has his own quality. He is that kind of a disciplined person. Very disciplined in a sense, not necessarily studying on time, but like submission of assignment on time is what I would say. And he's a great friend to have, and he's sometimes funny, and even he's like a very introverted, shy. I wouldn't say he's introverted, like I would say he's ambivert. So basically what happens is that
there's a mix of both.
Yeah, it's a mix of both. So what happens is he doesn't talk, he's not comfortable talking with a large number of people, but in a certain group, 3-4 people, I think he is very much free to talk, and he does talk. So that is what I would say. He's an ambivert. Yeah, it's a mixture of both.
Right. That's it. I've seen it right now. A rapid fire. One word that comes to your mind when you hear names of your classmates. It's here, 26.
Yeah.
There's a great set of questions. I've been reading that throughout our conversation.
So, do you have anything to say?
I have a few topics for the next one when we call other people.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Like, do you like talking? I like talking. I don't
It's
know
like-
why, man.
What we talk about.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like if you want to gossip with me, I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy to gossip. Like if you trivial things, I can't do it. But if it's like actual these type of things, I'm all in.
But what I like, even also, I'll add this one, right? A constructive feedback for you, man.
Yeah.
I've said that, and I mean it, right? The man who is everywhere is nowhere,
Yeah.
right? So I wouldn't say exactly it's kind of like a you, and it's very much I really appreciate that you're trying best like just to learn and just evolve as a person, and that is really good to have that kind of a mindset. But like what I don't agree is that if you if you just make it very wide, like doing everything, right? CA, CMA, even podcast, this, that. I would say that might take toll on you as a person, and then at the end of the day, you you might not be able to do any of this thing properly, right? So yeah, just my opinion that I would say I just want you to restrict yourself to like a 5-6 domains, 5-6 in a sense. Yeah, do CMA, and it's related, so you have an advantage in that one.
Yeah.
So if you like, you say public speaking and this one podcast, it's almost like related. And yeah, it's just having your own club, right? So this 5 thing, I would say it's fine.
Yeah.
And if you still have a little bit of a time, then you told me that you have a research paper to do, it's fine. And I think you shouldn't do more than this one, right? And if you say like you're open to relationship also, and I want you to just, it's an advice just to close it. So
Yeah. No. It was actually worse before the first semester, first year, than it is right now. I've toned it down a bit. So yeah.
It's good, man.
Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, man. You didn't give me a lot of feedback, man. Honestly, you just gave me.
I need time to think.
Okay, next time.
Next time, we'll start with this. Next time, I'll start with you.
Feedback. Okay.
All right then.
Okay. Nice having a conversation with you, Mr. Prateek.
Always. It was nice having you too.
Okay. Thank you.
Finally, this time I thought like I would interview you. It's like you are the guest of this show. But then I tried at the start. But then, as always, you are the most intuitive and most contributor to this.
No, man, like it's an equal. But like what happened is that I like talking, right? I need like a proper this one, like
Setup.
doing this one. Gaurav, right? He's good at camera and all, right? He's interested also. But like even he'll waste his time. So do you know this this one? Right now I'm in a phase, okay, where I'm like just focus on. I don't care about CA. I don't know inter. Right? I feel like I don't know. I don't call it an arrogant, okay. But I think that like group 1, I think I'll clear it, okay. Even if I don't study properly, like a little bit of this one, just like really focuses on this. You might have seen the aesthetic of body, proper gym and all, right?
Yeah.
I want that, and I want it to be like a good at speaking, and basically I'm
There's
just building my
more things in
vocabulary.
studies that builds your personality.
Yeah,
Interpersonal
definitely.
skills, it's a very major thing. And I'm telling you, this thing, the conversation thing that we are doing, it will help us in the future. It will
Yeah,
definitely help us.
definitely, yeah. This is what I think. Yeah. So later, like 30, 40 years down the line, we'll be just looking back at the conversation we had, like
And
searching,
Jib
big
come so
diverse
far. Yeah.
and
See, this is what this college life is all about.
yeah, and I do think like we might become one of the the Elon Musk or something like, because like even just imagine, okay, did you read his biography? So he started with like 8, 16, 17 only. So 16, 17, what he did was like this one. He was like this one. He started with his college, and then 18, 19, at around like us only age, right? 18, 19, 20, around this one, he went to Stanford, and then he dropped out, and like he started at like. He properly started at 23, 4 something. So we still have a time, man. And then, like we have like right now abundance of our knowledge, right? So yeah, we can and we could and we will, man.
There will be always abundance of knowledge. It will just grow.
Yeah.
And this thing, it will be helping us build a personality. We'll get so. See, this is what conversations.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
This is the real G conversation.
This is how it starts.
Yeah.
See, we start with us classmates. And we build it up to teachers. There's a lot of teachers that want to have this.
I think we should really appreciate this one, man. The structured, like the way we went, right? Otherwise, normally we don't have that structure. Everything gets mixed up. You know that this is what happens if you don't have a structure proper.
Yeah, I know.
Like everything got mixed up, and then
it is going on with our students.
they've covered like almost all the topic, and with a proper structure. Like we have given all the like all the important important topics we give all like a proper time, right? So I think we had like a really good session.
Yeah, we'll be improving every day. Every time we have this, we'll be improving. It's a good thing.
So any last it's your you are the boss, right? So any last note?
Last note would be
Like, share, subscribe.
No. Yeah, that is that. The last note would be, I want to do this, continue this until either this gets bigger. I hope it does. I hope one day we'll have an office just for this. But if that doesn't happen, until we graduate, I want to do this.
Yeah, we'll do it. Like whenever we have a free time, we'll just call anyone.
I think we are on the same page when we're doing this, not to grow as a channel, as a page.
Just to grow as a person.
As a person. This is what we are having conversation to grow.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Like, even I'm not uploading this to YouTube for like this one. like views and all. Okay,
Yeah.
just later, like what happened is that when 30, 40 years down the line, we can just look at back and we can just see our journey
because it exists on the internet forever.
later.